Yo! What is good, Sixer Nation? Welcome on in to another edition of Philly Take with RB Sixer Game Day Live. Coming at you on a Monday evening, busy Monday night, as the 18-7 76ers, winners of 6 straight, return home to go up against, for the first time this year, the highly talked about Chicago Bulls. We're talking trade rumors, players that could be on the move, players that people want on the 76ers. So we get to finally see them in action. And tonight, we're shaking it up a bit as we got my guy, longtime supporter, longtime content creator, one of the best in the business, joining me along for the ride, Sean Bernard. We're going to chop it up. As always, we give you the play-by-play reaction. We'll break it down in real time, give you the analysis, breakdown. We'll chop it up with the chat, and we'll get this one on the road, man. Sixers and Bulls coming up. I'm pumped, man. Sean, how are we feeling?
Yes, sir, RB. We got a big day in Philly sports here tonight. Some big shoes to fill, holding down the fort for you while you switch over to Eagles mode for the second half. But very excited to chop it up throughout the whole first with you and take over. Excited to see the Sixers team keep it going. That the vibes are high. They have been the good vibes team in Philly of late, and I'm excited to see. I think it continues tonight for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome into the show. You guys know the drill. Once again, Philly Take with RB, Sixer Game Day Live, coming at you on a Monday evening. This game was supposed to be a lone game. No games coincided this year, but of course the NFL wanted to flex the Philadelphia Eagles and Seattle Seahawks game. So as Sean mentioned, I will be hopping out of here around halftime. That means my guy Sean's going to take the reins. Like I said, man, he's one of the best doing it. Hopefully we can do this more often, kind of get this integrated somehow into the show, because it is tough for an 82-game schedule, chopping it up for 3 hours, just talking and talking. So it's nice. We're going to have kind of like the play-by-play color commentator duo going on. If you guys have not yet, do me a favor, drop a like on the stream. We need y'all to tap that like button heavy, push this stream out, hit the subscribe button. You know the drill. Follow us Instagram, Twitter, join the Discord. If you want to support the show, become a channel member. All right, all the other ways to support down below. Support our sponsors as well. Support our brand. And this is going to be a fun one tonight, man. I know a lot of people are going to be in here talking about Zach LaVine. I put a poll up in the YouTube chat. I'm going to go check on the results of that. But, yeah, man, shout out to everybody in here. Sean, let them know where they can find you as well. Definitely follow Sean on all platforms.
Absolutely. Appreciate the love, RB. And yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Sean_Bernard1. Make sure to check me out on Fox Sports The Gambler. I'm their Sixers insider for Fox 1025. Can catch us across the iHeart app, on YouTube as well, growing that YouTube channel, as well as Pick Swap Media, my own stuff, the Pick Swap podcast coming out of there, and Sixers Digest as well on YouTube. So got some short form content turning out there. We'll have a video out there tomorrow. Anyone that'll put a mic in front of my face, I will talk some Sixers. So excited to have the opportunity with you tonight, RB.
That is a fact. And last time we collabed, we were here watching. Actually, it was on playback. It was the dunk contest. Yeah. We watched Mac McClung absolutely shock the world. That was a great time. So anybody that was in there knows that this is a great duo right here. And again, man, Sean is always grinding. So definitely support him. Let's give some shout outs to the chat. We got a little bit of a different setup here tonight, so bear with me. But let's shout out some people. Our members. We got Kion's in here. What's up, Kion? We got Marcia McCollum in the house. We got Speed Demon, and we got JB Warnock. What's up, my guy, JB? Shout out to the Mod Squad. Hope everybody is doing well on this Monday evening. As you guys know, I do Eagles coverage as well for an actual company or a different company, A to Z Sports. So I will be on there for halftime and post game. If you're Eagles fans and you're anticipating that, come check me out. But Sean will be holding it down. How are we feeling about this game? Guys, give me your score predictions in the chat. Give me your score predictions. Give me your bold takes. You know the drill. Nothing changes. Score prediction, bold take. And yeah, man, the Bulls are 10-17. They've been awful. They're 3-10 on the road. Sean, I will leave the floor to you. How do you think this game will go? By the way, Embiid was questionable. I am assuming that he is starting and good to go. So pending that he is, how do you feel about this game?
Yeah, and Embiid is officially good to go. It was a little bit of a hamstring issue that was bothering him, but they did the usual routine with Embiid where he goes through his pregame routine. They make a call from there, and he officially got the green light. So that is a great thing for the Sixers team. He is playing at an unbelievable level right now, and the whole team is following him. That the past 5 games, the Sixers have produced the greatest margin of victory for a 5-game sample size in NBA history. Super impressive stuff. And I understand these are not these talented teams or these playoff caliber teams that the Sixers will ultimately need to take down when the time is right. But the bottom line is they still should be praised for taking care of business, having that killer instinct, and proving that they are this top level team in the way that they are playing like. So I think that trend continues today. I do think the Bulls are probably the toughest team they have played in this stretch. As much as the Bulls absolutely have their problems, I still would consider them a significant notch above, the Pistons and the Wizards and that tier of team that the Sixers just got through. But to me, it doesn't matter. This is about the Sixers. This is about the level that they are playing at. I think that continues tonight. I think this is another dominant victory. And one quick storyline that I do want to get into, in addition to the trade conversations, we know all the rumors with the Bulls looking to blow things up, the Zach LaVine whispers, the Alex Caruso whispers, even DeMar DeRozan. But another storyline to me is a little bit of a Pat Bev homecoming that we know he spent the end of last season with the Bulls. Just saw a video of him pregame dapping up with DeMar DeRozan and a couple of those guys. So I think there could be a cool Pat Bev moment tonight for sure.
And he's actually been playing pretty good too. Like he's starting to knock
Yeah.
down more volume of threes. I mean, his defensive presence has always been there, but you kind of look towards the deadline. It's like, should the Sixers go out and get, another piece? I'm sure they may address the backup point, but I do agree. Like right now, Pat Bev has been playing really well. And this could be one of those games again where he comes out and has something to prove. It feels like any game that he has something to prove, even on Wednesday, when you look at Minnesota, like those are the games he tends to rise in. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I agree that Joel Embiid has just been on an absolute tear. I mean, we're here streaming these games every night. We're watching it happen. And I almost can't believe it. Like 40 points in 3 quarters. He had 38 points per game on an average the last week, and he didn't even play in a fourth quarter. We're talking about 3 quarters. This guy is actually unstoppable, and he keeps getting better. And right now he's on pace to win his 2nd straight MVP. I know we're early in the season, and I know some people are hesitant or reluctant to say, oh, well, if you don't do it in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like this is greatness. We are witnessing one of the greatest players of this generation right here before our eyes.
Yeah, and think about he's coming off an MVP season where he was literally crowned the best player in the league, and he's averaging more points, more assists, more rebounds, more blocks, and more steals this year, and doing it in less time. When you look at him across the leaders of the league, the Luka Doncic, the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis Jokic, the top dogs that are in this MVP race with him, they're each playing like 3 full minutes more per game than we've seen from Joel Embiid, scoring 41 points in 29 minutes, having more total points than minutes played this season. This is absurd stuff. This is out of this world stuff, and it is amazing to watch. And something that's been cool to me recently, especially, if you ever listen in on kind of the opposing team's feed for a broadcast, it's super cool to see their reactions to Joel Embiid, because we do get a little bit numb to just how special this guy is, getting to see it on a night-by-night basis. Like that Hornets announcer, he was straight up in awe at the things that Embiid was doing in that matchup. So I do think that's cool, and it does put it into perspective just what a difference maker and what an elite talent Joel Embiid is.
He's unbelievable, man. And, he set the record last game, 11 straight games with 30-plus points. He has 10 straight games of 30 and 10 rebounds. The guy is rebounding at an insane clip. We used to ask him to get 8 to 10 a game. He's getting 12 in his sleep in 3 quarters. He's getting 6 assists per game. He's just been unreal. So I'm excited to see what he can continue to do. Now that you're past like the really, really down in the dirt teams, Chicago's still not that good, but then you got Minnesota, Toronto, Miami. So it'll be interesting to see what this Sixers team can do to keep up. But right now, I mean, everything's on Joel's shoulders. Like he is literally carrying the weight, and he just, I don't know, like everything is clicking, and he just seems to be in a different mind state. So I'm really happy, really, to see how he's playing, and I hope it continues. But let me go ahead and read some of these predictions in the chat. Justin says 110, 106 Bulls. Justin's always hating, man. He's always picking the other team. We got Ryan Rose says 124, 101 Sixers. Prodigy, what's up? Says Sixers minus 10.5 tonight. Let's get it. 126, 105. Don Boyle says Embiid with another triple-double. Not much of a bold take, but couldn't think of anything else. Prince says, sup, gang. Mr. Bernard in the building. Michael Hooper, what's up? Let's see. Paul George, the Sixers should trade for DeRozan. Big run in the house. Diehard Bulls fan. Tunes into every single stream. Shout out to him. His team's finally on the map. He says Embiid's going to eat. I think we'll compete against the Sixers, at least keep it reasonably close. My bad. The comments are flying. Appreciate you guys in here. Once again, guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button on this stream. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Cable Wire says Batum with 15 points. Let's go, man. Craig's in the house. What's up? C Block, what's good? 127.99 Sixers with a beatdown. Shout out to Travis in here. Let's see. Robin says, I love you guys, but I'm for the Bulls tonight. Justin says, I keep my expectations low, so I'm not disappointed. David says, what's good, RB? In the building. Hit the like button. We got this. Dave from North Philly. Sixers 125-98. I don't know if it's going to be another blowout, just because I think fatigue can kind of weigh down, but it's weird, Sean. Like, I do expect this Sixers team to win. And the one difference from last year to this year, I don't care what anybody says, right? You can beat the bad teams. You can beat down on the 23 loss Detroit Pistons, right? They're on pace for the biggest losing streak, whatever. But the way this team finishes games, like they don't just sneak one out. It's not like, oh, here come the Hornets on a 12-point run in the last 5 minutes, and then we sneak it out and we're just, breathing heavy. Like the Sixers dominate once they get to the fourth. They know how to finish games, and it's a credit to Nick Nurse. You can actually see the difference night and day. This team has a purpose late in games. They go out and they finish them, and that's what I love about this team.
Big time. And it's definitely a mental thing. Like there's a switch that has been flipped in these guys' heads as far as having that killer instinct, being able to step on these small teams, because that has been a criticism that we've talked about this Sixers team for several years, playing down to your competition, not having those performances. What do you do assert your dominance? And you never want to be the team that is in a dogfight with a mediocre or below average team. And the Sixers too often have found themselves in that situation. So to see the difference this year and them truly taking care of business, I know that people are going to continue to throw the playoff woes and I need to see them beat the Celtics. Or I need to see them beat the Bucks. And I understand that will be the
different for sure. Here's the starting lineups tonight for the visiting Bulls: Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, DeMar DeRozan, Pat Williams, and Nikolai Vucevic. And for the 76ers, Tyrese Maxey, DeAnthony Melton, Nico Batum, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. I know Caruso is active, but is LaVine good to go?
LaVine is still hurt. He's got an ankle injury. He's going to be out a couple more weeks.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember he got hurt. I didn't know how long he was out, but the Bulls really I've not been paying that much attention to because I'm really just waiting for the trade deadline. Like they're going to probably have to blow it up. I don't see any way they can repair this and like keep it together. So, we're not going to get to see LaVine in action, but what we will get to see is hopefully Alex Caruso. And we'll see if he can maybe be a good fit for the Sixers down the line. But let's go, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. 180 plus people in here. Do me a favor, hit the like button, help push this stream out. I know it's a Monday night, but we're here. We're live every single game, and we're rocking RB and Sean Bernard. Jad in the chat says RB and Romp, Ala and Kate for sure. Kion says slight lag, but normal again. Look, man, we're doing this on really like not short notice, but like short production standpoint, and we're trying to put this together for you guys. So we're here, man. We're here. And if it lags, just kind of stay around, stick in, and we'll get it figured out. But appreciate everybody being in here, man. Sixers about to get underway. They're rocking the blue unis tonight in South Philly. Bulls have been a disappointment, man. They've been bad.
Absolutely. Yep. And one of the things that you kind of mentioned that you're looking for through this is with the trade rumors of these Bulls guys that are on the market. We know that there's no LaVine, and it's been interesting to me that the Bulls have been playing better without LaVine. I'm curious to see what Caruso's got. And one of the specific things I'm watching is that entry pass ability. I've seen a ton of hype from Romp about that on his channel, talking about how good he is at. And Nick Batum has been a guy that's made a difference. I would like to see that from Caruso tonight.
Yeah, nah, I agree. Sixers missed the first shot, then Williams misses one, and Embiid picks it up. Here comes Tobias Harris, guarded by Patrick Williams on the other end. Tobias going to turn, fade, can't get the roll. Picked up by Vucevic. Here come the Chicago Bulls. Hopefully you're lined up with me, Sean. If not, we'll get lined
you're
up.
good.
Cool. Vucevic, who got a big payday this past offseason, goes in, misses the float. Here come the Sixers, 5-on-4. Tobias down to Maxey, corner. Nico Batum, and he throws
Gotta shoot that one.
Come on, man. Wide open. Wide open. Here comes Kobe White, puts it up. Another miss. Doink off the back rim. Guess all these people here tonight aren't watching the Eagles game. That's for sure. Batum going to find Joel, spins down, goes up, and got it. Sixers on the board.
Could have been a
Let's
foul
go,
there
man.
too.
Should have been a foul, honestly.
Yeah.
My guy Joel, and last game, by the way, only had 6 free throws. He had 40 plus in 3 quarters, only 6 free throws.
18 of 23 from the field in that one. Impressive
Insane,
stuff.
man. Insane efficiency. DeRozan going to find Kobe White, top of the key, triple. That one comes up short. Picked up by Joel Embiid. He's going to bring it down the floor. Once again, no Levine tonight. Here's Tobias, spots up a 3, and he got it. Let's go. Let's go,
Assist
man.
from Embiid there. The feed from Embiid.
Let's go. Tobias has not been shooting well from deep this year, so good to see him getting going there. Here's Vucevic. I was going to hand it off to DeSumo. DeSumo guarded by D'Anthony Melton. Going to cross over, break past the first line of defense. Now he's going to kick it out. DeRozan going all the way, dumps it down. Vucevic, and they let him go right in. Tell you what, man, DeRozan is like, I don't know. I haven't heard much about him this year. Like, and he's on a contract year. So it is interesting.
Yeah, 1-year deal. It's interesting that when you reach this point, when you're a team like the Bulls, that each of these guys, while they're obviously competing to win and contribute on a nightly basis, you're also making your case for why any other team should want you, that you are playing for that next contract or that next trade location. That fits for this entire Bulls organization right now, based on the state of the team. And DeRozan going to be a free agent at the end of this year. That's especially important to him.
No, absolutely, man. And, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets moved at the deadline. Honestly, I don't see a reason he would want to stay. Joel going to knock down the first one. He's at the line. Let's go, man. Joel already has 2 rebounds, and same thing with Tobias. So it's important for Tobias to get on the boards heavy. Joel averaging 34 points per game. That is absurd.
Leading the league for 3rd consecutive season.
And he sat out in 9 fourth quarters. I mean, that's insane. Here comes Chicago after a made pair by Joel. DeRozan working against Maxey. Nice defense. Tobias can't pick it up, though. Damn.
And Maxey's gotten a ton of praise for the playmaking leap this year. I think the defense has improved at nearly the same rate. I've been very impressed with the growth on him from the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. Here's DeRozan against Tobias, working around the elbow. I was going to hand it off to White. 5 on the shot clock. Kobe White going to cross over, kick to the corner. Williams off the dribble, drives, fades off a foot, can't get it to go. Picked up by Philadelphia. Maxey going to bring it down the floor now. Embiid. Joel working one-on-one. Here's where he gets crafty. Joel going to pull up mid-range, a little bit short. Picked up by Chicago. And here come the Bulls. And Williams going to go one-on-one against Embiid. Can't get it to fall. Here come the Sixers. Maxey down the other end. 3 minutes into this game, 6-2. Maxey lets it fly, and he got it. Tyrese from deep.
From a couple feet behind the arc, too. A little deep range there.
That's the aggression they need. That's the aggression they need. Here's Williams on the dribble handoff. Turns, fades against Melton, and he got one to sink. 9-4 to begin this game. Let's go, Maxey. Get aggressive, man. Get aggressive. Tobias working at the elbow. Now he's hesitating back to Embiid. Pump fake. Embiid going to drive. He trips.
Yikes. All right, bounces up quick, but I didn't love the way he went down there.
He got up quick on that one.
Yeah. I will say it also looks like they're making a conscious effort to get Tobias Harris involved here. Seems like they're calling his number a little extra early tonight, which I don't hate the logic of. It's been a quiet start to the season for Tobias.
Man, I was fooled. I don't know about you, Sean, but us here in the chat, we were believing in Tobias for a good 8 games. And kind of just, I feel like this team's very well put together, and then it's a little bit of an awkward fit as Embiid knocks the first down. But man, after that, like first 8-9 games, really on that stretch, looks like we got a timeout, by the way. It's going to be Billy Donovan. He's probably going after this year too. But as it relates to Tobias Harris, it's like that 8-game win streak. I mean, he was flying around. He was doing everything. And it seems like it's been a normal occurrence early in the season for Tobias. And then he kind of sinks back into what he normally does. And it's just frustrating, man, especially on an expiring contract year.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate cycle that is Tobias Harris, that we see these stretches of time where he is the player that the Sixers need, where he makes quick decisions. He takes catch and shoot threes. He's decisive. He gets out in transition. And then over time, he slips back into these bad habits, that it feels like he has to make such an effort and play in such a conscious way when he's playing like the Sixers need him. And then when he starts to drift out of it, it's back to taking contested mid-range, doing his little post-up back in, being in repetitive areas of the floor as Joel. So it is frustrating that he's just not quite the style of player that the Sixers team needs. I do feel bad for him to an extent that I do think he tries, but he absolutely slips from this. And this is now a couple years in a row that it is this, we see the version of Tobias Harris we want to see, and then he gradually leaks back into the version of what he is in actuality.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And I'm interested to see what they will do at the deadline. Like, from coming from your perspective, do you ever think there's a world where they would even entertain trading him? Like, maybe the team is, I don't know, maybe they're sitting at like a 60 win percentage or 70 win percentage. They continue to rack up games here, and especially these easy ones. But come early February, it's like you kind of want them to maybe think it could propel them into that championship level. But if they're playing that good, would they really do it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that I think I'm more willing than Daryl Morey will be. That my personal opinion on the Tobias Harris standpoint, and what frustrates me specifically about Tobias is there's not one individual basketball characteristic that makes him necessary to this team. He's a well-rounded player. He doesn't have a ton of glaring weaknesses, but he's not a great catch and shooter. He's not a great rebounder. And when you kind of compare him to the guys in the same rotation, that we have a guy like Kelly Oubre, who's far better at creating his own offense. We have a guy like Nicholas Batum, who's far better as a connective passer, and even a guy like Robert Covington, who I would say is far better as a defender. So when you think about it like that, those are three options that can be better to fill. And from a roster construction standpoint, that obviously Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid are the featured players on this team. You got to round that out with guys that fit the characteristics that complement them. Tobias Harris, unfortunately, just is not quite that. But I do think that there's a part of these Sixers looking at it of keeping the stability, keeping the same squad, and really looking forward to getting that contract off the books and attacking free agency. So I would be surprised if there is a move, but I'm absolutely not fully ruling it out.
No, I agree with you. And Joel Embiid going to knock down the second free throw. Guys, we got 99 likes. Hit the like button so I can hit the air horn. Let's go, man. We every time we hit 100 likes, I drop an air horn.
Love it.
Chat's always helping us out. We got 250 people in here. Thank you guys for being here. Once again, do us a favor, hit the like button. RB and Sean Bernard tapping in tonight. Let us know if you enjoy this format, by the way. Let us know if you enjoy this. Maybe we can shake it up once in a while and get Sean and I on here.
Absolutely.
Let's see, here's the Sumo working against Embiid, 2 on the shot clock. He's dribbling away, and it is poked away out of bounds. Let's go.
There's Tyrese Maxey back at it on the defensive end.
Sixers are playing defense, man. They're finally it's consistent. I love it. Joel going to find Maxey at the top. Maxey crossing over, driving, kicking back. Joel Embiid for 3. Got it. Let's go. Let's go, man.
And we did clear our 100 like mark there, RB.
Oh, let's go. We got to hit the air horn, man. We got you at the next stoppage. Here's DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan going to find Vucevic, kicks it out. Bulls swinging it around. And there goes DeSumo. He lost it. Batum up the floor. What a pass. Maxey all the way. The reverse. Got it. Tyrese. Sixers lead it 16-4. They are on a run to begin this game.
There we are.
I can't
just like we talked about, RB. It is that first quarter step on the neck, come out with that killer instinct. We're seeing it once again.
They do it, man. Williams for 3 off the mark. Vucevic can't hold on to it. Butterfingers. Now it's going to be picked up by Batum. And here come the Sixers yet again, almost halfway through the first. Melton. Here's Joel Embiid. 6:40 to go here in the first. Maxey. Going to find Tobias Harris. Tobias down the block, back to Maxey, thinking now Embiid. Thought about it, drives all the way, and he's plucked. But it's going to stay with Philly. 5 on the shot clock. We got 100 likes in the chat. Let's go, man. Let's go. Welcome in.
Yes,
let's go.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Chat, let us hear you. I wish I could see the emojis here on the StreamYard chat, but we'll pick it up. Drop those emojis, man. Drop those Embiid emojis, Maxey emojis. These guys are cooking right now. Joel, turnaround 3. Oh, he almost did it. Yo, if he would have hit that.
Yeah, that'd have been something. We got Caruso coming into the game now, so a little look at that as we make our trade deadline shopping list. Let's see where he stacks up there.
Vucevic down the other end knocks it through. Caruso, chat,
picking up.
yes or no? Should the Sixers try to go out and get Alex Caruso? If you've seen the videos here on this channel recently, you know I'm a big fan of Caruso. Depends what the price tag is, but man, he's a good player. Working against Maxey. Maxey puts it up from deep and he missed it. What do you guys think about Alex Caruso? Yes or no in the chat. Here's Kobe White going to find DeRozan on the wing. DeRozan against Batum. 10 on the shot clock. He's going to drive, spin, bounce it out. Here's Caruso working against Maxey, and he's plucked. Nice
Another
defense
steal.
by Maxey. Maxey all the way.
Blocked
Oh,
by Caruso.
chase down block. Alex Caruso. 5:33 to go here in the first. So Maxey got him on the win end, and then Caruso got him back on the other end.
And I do like that out of Caruso. The turnover down one end, chasing it down, and a cool little battle going back and forth between him and Maxey here. Potential future teammates dogging it out.
Here comes Pat Bev. Here comes the boy, Pat Bev, going up against his former team. By the way, once Pat Bev went to Chicago last year, really made an impact on their defense for sure. So just really a winner. I love Pat Bev on his team. I've been wanting him for years, but you could see the impact. Here's Batum. Going to find Pat Bev. Bev coming around the screen. Bev back to Joel Embiid. Embiid thinking now he's working one-on-one against Vucevic. Puts it up. Oh, it's money. It's money, man. It is absolute money. Sheesh, man. Glitch, what's up, man? He says future Sixer Caruso. Joel 10 in the first again. It's becoming easy at this point, and DeRozan fouled by Embiid. He will go to the line for 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the show. We got a little bit of a different format tonight if you're just tapping in, but thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Cameron says if he was on the Sixers, that won't happen. John says don't overpay. Marcia says no. Stevie says yes, but not for 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, it's interesting that a lot of people talking about how Caruso could be the Bulls member that fetches the greatest return in the trade market, which is interesting because when you think about Zach LaVine in a vacuum or DeMar DeRozan in a vacuum, Caruso is not the better player out of those. But when you take in the context of that contract, of the value, him making about $10 million versus the $40 million that Zach LaVine is making, you can make an argument for that. So I am curious what that ultimate asking price is. That's obviously pretty make or break in the discussion here. But he is a guy that I'm growing more and more fond of, and I think making a strong impression to start tonight.
No, absolutely. Batum missed the 3. Sixers lead by 10. 4:45 to go in the first. Kobe White all the way and got the little slipper right past Joel Embiid. Here comes Patrick Beverly. Interested to see how they kind of run him here. Got Melton still in. Nurse always goes to Bev, and he then runs Maxey back with the bench later. Here's Joel. He's getting grabbed down low. Nobody can stop him, though. You just can't get in his way. You can't even stop Joe. He's like a freight train, man. 12 points here in the first. Just unbelievable how easy it is for him.
Yeah.
There's Vucevic up top. Trying to find DeRozan. Great defense by Beverly. And Williams going to lose it off of the leg of Tobias Harris, staying with the Bulls. 14 on the shot clock.
Does look like the Sixers are especially locked in defensively tonight, too. There's been a lot of great help defense, some switching, a ton of good stuff I'm seeing on the defensive end, and that's setting the tone. Only 10 points for the Bulls so far.
I think the craziest thing to me is just like even last year, even if they started out strong, they would always dip heavy, you know? And it's like they don't see those types of swings in these games, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Javon Carter in for the first time. Vucevic working against Tobias. Let's go. Keep him in front. Vucevic going to turn, and it's plucked away. Nice defense. Here comes Joel Embiid. He's got 12 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tobias getting grabbed by Caruso, and he is fouled under the rim. I'm about to say, like, when are they going to call a foul?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a foul pretty early in that one. Caruso seems like he's arguing it, which doesn't get much more of a clear foul than that. We can also see it looks like Joel Embiid's starting to have a little fun out there, a little loose with the spin move there, a little pass. So Embiid's starting to get in his bag a little bit here early on.
It's just he looks so natural in this offense. It's amazing. Here's Melton working with Joel Embiid. He's going to drive all the way. Melton got the layup. Oh, this team is different, man. Melton's out here making layups. Let's go. Let's go. Here's Caruso at the top working against Nico Batum. And a nice addition to this team. Caruso, little 5-footer, and he drills it. Sixers lead by 10.
I'm
Let's
impressed
see.
by the start by Caruso here, setting the tone for this Bulls team. Huge impact off the bench already. You can feel the difference that he's on the floor.
I think it'd be fair to say he's been one of their best players this year for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Here's Beverly from 3.
Mm.
Just rolls around and out. Looks like Drummond's getting ready to sub in. Former Sixer, one of our favorites. Andre Drummond. Here's Kobe White. Step back from the corner.
Oof.
Nice shot off the dribble against Tobias.
And Kobe
250.
White has been the guy that has stepped up without Levine. And if there's any reason to trade Zach Levine, I would say it's the growth of Kobe White. That I do think this is legitimate, averaging over 20 points per game over the stretch without Levine. He's really been hooping and filling up from an assist and rebound standpoint too. So it's been a little bit of slow development for him, but I do think the leap is here.
He's been pretty good, man. Kobe White from deep. Got it again. Wow.
Right on cue.
Right on cue as you're talking about his development. And, he was a lottery pick and he started off actually really cold. And,
Mhm.
It didn't look like he was ever going to really take that leap, but Chicago might have one in their hands, man. I mean, they're here. And like you said, Caruso with a nice tone setter. He's got 2 points, a block already in 4 minutes and a rebound. Joel Embiid leading away for Philly. He's got 12 points. Maxey 2 for 4 in this game. As you guys can see, we got the stats up. We got 330 people in here. Guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Welcome on in. Sixer Game Day Live. We're here every single game, breaking it down. And, we're chopping it up. So appreciate you guys in here. I'm going to try to read as many comments as possible. But appreciate you guys, man. What do you think about Andre Drummond, Sean?
I like Drummond. I do miss him. I will say that I don't think the backup center rotation is as settled as I expected it to be. We obviously know the B-ball Paul experience and what we get. Your partner in crime from the podcast standpoint there, RB, that we know
Out
that
the mud. Drop it in the
mud.
chat. Out the mud, man. Drop the out the mud emoji.
Yes, sir. So love what he brings to the table, of course. And then Mo Bamba sneaking in here, a little bit different skill set than we've seen. His kind of stretch big ability. But I will say that there was something to Drummond as just like that normal backup center, a guy that eats rebounds, can do a little bit. There was always a little too much extra from Drummond from the passing standpoint, from how I felt. But he is a guy that I'm surprised has stuck around in Chicago, and I would not mind having him back for sure.
Let me ask you this question, because I honestly feel, and as someone who's been covering the team now for 4 years, it's like sometimes I feel like there's just a little too much emphasis on the backup center and their flaws. Chat, let me know if you agree. Like, Andre Drummond did a damn good job for this team.
Yeah.
I thought Dwight Howard did a pretty decent job. Yeah, he fouled a lot, and there were the defensive weaknesses for sure. But these guys performed better than what I expect for a backup center. Like, they were better than Boban Marjanovic or Greg Monroe, etc. Now B-ball Paul, struggling here and there, and people are like down on him. Like, these guys are only going to get 6 minutes in the playoffs or 8 minutes. Like, I don't think we can expect them to be to this level of greatness being a backup big. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's fair. The thing that I'll point out as kind of the counter to it is, for most teams, I agree that a backup center is not that important. If you look at a Boston Celtics, that there isn't that drastic of drop off when you go from an Al Horford to a Luke Cornett based on what they're asked to do on the floor. Horford, obviously the better player. But when you think about the Sixers team, Joel Embiid is the everything to this team, that he is the star on both ends of the floor. He is so important from everything they do that you can't just have any other backup, because it's such a drastic drop off and everyone is so dependent on Embiid when he's in the game. So I would say that backup center is significantly more important to a team like the Sixers than the general NBA team. And we've seen the bad versions of this team just not being able to stand without him on the floor. But the bottom line is, I would agree it carries a little too much criticism. And if Joel Embiid is hurt and you need to play that backup center significant amount of time, this team isn't doing too much anyway.
Maxey misses the nice reverse. By the way, Rocco in for the first time. So Nurse going right to Rocco. Kelly Oubre in as well. Mm-hmm. And there goes Kobe White with yet another one down the other end. $5 super chat. Sean Quigg, he says Caruso and TJ McConnell would be the all-time pain in the butt backcourt. They would drive the Sixers insane. Yo, people get on me in this chat every game, but TJ McConnell is a decent NBA player. I'm sorry. I know it's unpopular, but the dude has heart, man. Dude has heart.
Yeah, and throw Pat Bev in that same conversation, by the way. A little Caruso, TJ, Pat Bev, all a similar kind of archetype of player and ability to make an impact that frustrates opponents for sure.
Absolutely. Maxey misses the 3. Here's Andre Drummond in for the first time, former Sixer. on a little two-man game with Caruso. Caruso to floater, and that is beautiful right there.
Caruso
As a
showing out.
competitor, I'm going to respect it. Bulls on an 11-0 run. What a great, like, the career arch of Caruso is just one that shows me, like, you can do anything, man. Like, just so underrated, and just to get where he's at, it's incredible to see. Here's Joel Embiid working against Drummond. 1 minute to go here in the first. Joel step back 2. Got it. Let's go. Let's go. 50 seconds to play. Sixers lead it by 3. Coby White again. Man, he is having a first quarter. How many points is that? 11.
Wow.
11 for Coby White. 13-2 run for Chicago. Here's Maxey coming down the other end, guarded by Caruso. Guys, do us a favor, man. Hit that like button. We got a ton of people in the chat. We want to push this show out. And let us know if you're enjoying this collaboration. Let us know how you enjoy the two of us together on this play-by-play. Beverly, a 3 in the corner, missed it. And Chicago on a strong run here to end the quarter. 25 seconds ago, 6 seconds separating game and shot clock. Coby White going to step back at 2. Bro,
Oof. Is
he Michael Jordan? Is he Michael Jordan? What's going on here, man?
And I will say, like, as I mentioned, I do think this is legit. I'll wait till we get to the end of the quarter to read off some of his stats here. But Coby White's become kind of the engine of this offense without LaVine.
Oh, my gosh, dude. This is crazy. Maxey around the screen. 3, 2. He lost it off the foot. It's going to be Chicago again.
All right, so we got 2.9 remaining. The Bulls are going to end up with the last shot here. Let's see if we can get a closeout on this possession to end this. 25-24 Bulls at the moment.
Let's go, man. Travis says you two are great together. Appreciate that, Travis. Shout out to all our members in here. Drop some emojis if you're in here. Rocco the Steel throws up a floater. Can't get it to go. So after a very strong start, the Sixers find themselves down 1 as we head to the second quarter. Once again, guys, appreciate everybody being in here. Drop a comment right now. Drop a fire emoji if you're enjoying this collaboration. RB and Sean Bernard on the 1s and 2s, chopping it up as the Sixers trail by 1. Joel Embiid with 14 points in the first quarter. It's becoming natural for him. How about Coby White? What's he averaging on the year? 13 points in the first quarter? Dude's turning into MJ right now. Jeez, man.
I believe his average on the year hovering somewhere around 17. But as I mentioned, that since Zach LaVine has gotten hurt, he has really stepped up. To look at his past couple games, I mean, the back-to-back against the Heat, the past 2 games, he finished with 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. The game before, 26 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. He's had 27, 33, 24, 19, 31, 23. Has not scored fewer than 19 points in each of his last 10 games. So Coby White really stepping up and hitting that moment. And I do think from the Bulls perspective, to me, that is the calling card and biggest driving force why you have to get Zach LaVine out of there. For starters, this team is performing better without him. It's very clear that there isn't a long-term future between these two. It feels like there's a fracturing of the relationship. And then when you have a guy that is giving you evidence why he's ready for that opportunity and ready for those minutes, I think you have to just give it to him. So I do think the Bulls should be in a rush to get a LaVine deal done and hand the keys to Coby White to see what he's really about.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to Dom Boyle. Says, what a terrible end of the quarter. D Green's in the house. Travis, Kion, BC, Lexi, Mark, Pat, what's up, everybody? Prince Manito, all the members in the house. Joseph says, shout out to RB and Sean. Sixers will pull it off. Appreciate you guys being here, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, Coby White is out here balling. And let me tell you something. I don't think LaVine ever fit in Chicago. I don't think it ever made sense with DeRozan. Do you have concerns about LaVine's character? Like, I like him as a player. I think people are not giving him enough credit. But there have been times, even with Chicago or even I think in Minnesota, like where his character does kind of show a little bit and he gets uninterested, you know, and he's not happy or he's like pissed at the end of a game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely see evidence of that. I'll say, like, from a basketball perspective, I think he gets a worse rap than he deserves. That I do think he's very efficient off ball. He's very good with his instincts and his ability to create his own shot without the ball, especially in an environment like the Sixers when you have a ball dominant guy like Joel Embiid. I think that's very important. But there's stuff that you can't overlook from the personality and the fact of his stats just not being conducive to winning. I mean, this guy has played, I believe, like 1 playoff game ever. He's with the Timberwolves, it didn't translate. With the Bulls, it haven't. So you do have to start asking some questions. I have a much different feel when you're asking him to come in and be a third star potentially with the Sixers when you have Maxey and Embiid than really him being the number one in Chicago.
Yeah, that's my issue in terms of the volume, especially when you want Embiid and Maxey to kind of have the main touches. And, sometimes it would be nice, to have him be a microwave scorer one night if those two are off. But, what's he going to do on a normal night when he's the third option or the fourth option? Here come the Bulls down the other end of DeRozan.
Reckless
Could
shot.
not get it to go. And no foul was called. Sixers pick it up. Here's Patrick Beverly. Kelly Oubre in the game. Maxey. We got B-ball Paul in for the first time out the mud. Rocco in as well. Here's Kelly Oubre mid-range. Can't get it to go. Tough shot.
And by the way, we should note no Marcus Morris tonight due to sickness, so we should get a little bit of a bump up in the Robert Covington minutes. I would love to see Rocco run with that and make his impact felt. I haven't seen quite enough minutes for Covington, from my opinion. I love what he brings to this team. His hands are everywhere defensively, and he truly is a game-changing defensive talent. So I hope Covington takes this opportunity in stride and really carves out even more of a role for himself.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been thoroughly surprised with Robert Covington. We talked about this before, but yeah, he's actually playing a lot better than I thought, especially on the defensive end. I mean, he just plucks everything. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Javon Carter off the dribble, missed it.
And Sixers look like they're going with a little zone defense here. It's interesting.
Switching it up a bit. Oubre going to find Maxey. Got Maxey, Beverly, Oubre, Covington, and Reed. Maxey hands it off. Patrick Beverly. Beverly trying to get some space. Blows by Caruso. Now finds Covington, but he fumbled it. Here come the Bulls on the break. 4-on-2. Caruso all the way. Got the reverse and one. Wow. Alex Caruso going to the stripe. Last time I looked at Caruso's numbers, I'm going to pull him up here actually. Dude was actually he was shooting pretty well too. He's shooting 47% from deep. Wow.
That's a tough finish there for Caruso too. Putting a little jelly on that guy, spinning it off the glass. That's a tough finish. And the foul. Impressive play by Caruso. He showed up tonight.
And he's on a good contract too. Like very beneficial contract. Here's Caruso up top. And he's just a high IQ player too. I love guys like that on my team. DeRozan driving, and he is fouled by Oubre. Look at Caruso. He's averaging 9 points a game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He's averaging 1.2 steals, and he's shooting 47% from 3. So, again, we're not saying that he's going to be some type of game changer, but for a team that definitely will probably have to address the backup depth at the guard position, like he's just a high IQ plug-and-play type of guy, and he's very beneficial to a team. Plus, he's won a championship. I mean, I know he was young in his career, but dude has worked to get to this point, and he's got experience.
Yeah, and he's efficient without needing a lot of volume, which I think is very important when you're thinking about the players that fit in, because Embiid needs his touches. He's a super high usage player. Same with Tyrese Maxey. He needs his opportunities. Caruso can do a lot with little opportunity, which is very appealing.
Absolutely. Sixers stole it back. It was Covington. Here's Beverly. Now B-ball Paul. Sixers down 3. They got to get some offense going. Here's Maxey. Going to find Oubre in a corner. Can't knock it down. Another missed opportunity for Philadelphia. Guys, hit that like button, man. We're almost to 200. Get us to 200 likes. Carter for 3 in the corner, and he drills it.
And we saw early on the Sixers team looking like they had that foot on the gas, coming out strong. This Bulls team has battled back. And for all the, I guess, drama and underperforming that this Bulls team has done, there is talent on this roster. Like, there's a lot of good players. They frankly should not be as bad as they have been. So they're not a team that the Sixers team can afford to sleepwalk through.
Yeah, no, they're going to have to win this game for sure, especially with Minnesota coming up on Wednesday. That'll be a very good matchup. You definitely want to get this one, in the bag here, but they got a lot of time. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Drop a comment. Let us know you're in here. We need 25 more likes. Get us to 200 likes. The goal is 300 on the night. Secret Underdog, what's up, bro? He says, would love Alex Caruso. B-ball Paul wide open from 3. Too much on that one. Rebounded by Drummond. Here comes DeMar DeRozan yet again. Working, coming around his screen, going to find Andre Drummond all the way, and he throws it down. Nobody could even get in the way of that one. 9-11 to go here in the second. Bulls now find themselves up by 8. I don't even know what the exact run is, but what a turnaround here by the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, and I remember early on Sixers holding a 10-point lead about about midway through that first quarter. So quite the turnaround here. A good timeout by Nick Nurse, I believe. I'm curious if he adjusts the rotations at all. That we've seen pretty steadily the Joel Embiid taking the first and third quarters, Tyrese Maxey kind of taking the second and fourth quarter as far as playing the entirety. Wondering if you kind of throw Embiid here for a couple minutes to stop the bleeding, change things up a little bit. Nurse has seemed pretty tied to his rotations, but I would like to see a little bit of a change and adjustment on the fly. That's one of the reasons I think we were excited and praised him. I'd like to see it in action a little bit tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And like Sean mentioned earlier, good call. Marcus Morris is out, which is probably why Roko's getting the majority of the minutes here. But I feel like they got to find that answer. Morris has been actually surprisingly really good. I'm like, what's going on with this guy? Is it coming to the hometown reunion? Like, what's going on with Marcus Morris? But dude, he's been on fire. Also, I just saw this stat here. Maxey got his 400th career 3-pointer in his 221st career game, and the only Sixer to ever reach that milestone in fewer games is Kyle Korver. So Maxey's on a pretty historic pace when it comes to this franchise. Shout out to Tyrese.
Yeah, and I think when everything is said and done, if things go according to plan and Tyrese Maxey ultimately spends the bulk, if not all of his career with the Sixers, I think he does end up being the all-time three-point leader for the Sixers. That he's already just in the 3 seasons that he's been here, he's at 9th on the list of all-time Sixers of made three-pointers. Robert Covington, by the way, second on that list. Allen Iverson at first. So I think Maxey is going to climb up this list rapidly. And by the way, our guy Furkan Korkmaz sitting at number 10 with 396 made threes there.
That is unbelievable. Furkan Korkmaz at number 2. Come on now. Come on. Like, that doesn't even seem real, man. They got Furk on the back of the team plane. He's not even playing. He doesn't even get in with the cleanup crew. He's like the extra. He's the extra to the cleanup crew. Like, he doesn't even get in at all. And when he does get in, he takes 5 shots in a minute. So it's crazy, man. But once again, shout out to all 360 plus in here right now, guys. We need 15 more likes. Get us to 200. Get us there now. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Chat is saying Kuzma or Clarkson. I saw Larry Markkinen. Markkinen would be an interesting target for this team.
Yeah, I saw a report today that the Jazz are asking for 5 first-round picks for Markkinen. So that is a little steep for my blood there. I love Lauri Markkinen as a player. I think he'd be a phenomenal fit on this team as well. But 5 first-round picks is a ton for any player.
Nobody's giving that up. Danny Ainge can try all he wants, but no can do.
Mm-hmm.
Dom says we don't have 200 likes. Yo, we got to get it to 200, man. You guys are slacking. Let's go, chat. Let's go, chat. Here's B-ball Paul. We're going to stick with him. Paul spins, turns, puts it up, and short again. Another miss for the Sixers. Somebody's got to get going here.
A little Daniel House action in the game right here.
Yes, sir. B-ball Paul, nice steal. He's going to run it up the floor. Paul going all the way. And got it.
Give him the foul.
Got it. Out the mud, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Sir. Shout out to B-ball Paul. Who is that? I don't even know who that is.
My guy, Dalen Terry.
Dalen Terry. I forgot about him, honestly. They have so many guards.
He played with Ben Mathurin in their year at Arizona. I believe 2 years they spent there together, but big fan of both of them. Dalen Terry's the man. He has not really shined with this Bulls team, but I'm a huge fan of him as a player and a great energy guy as well.
Kind of got pushed into the back seat a little bit, but
yeah,
there's Drummond working against Tobias and another steal. Nice defense. Paul picks it up. Here's Tobias out to the corner. D-House for 3. Got it. And there it is. The bow and arrow. You know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's coming, man. Daniel House has the best celebration in the NBA.
Oh, he's man. Ultimate vibes guy, no doubt about it. That there is an energy and just a splash of just, I don't even know how to put it with Dan House, but you feel his presence on the court and one of the more well-liked guys within the locker room as well.
Let's go, man. Daniel House makes it a 5-point game. It's 34-29. 34-29. Sixers inching back. What a shot. What a shot. Let's see.
And this should be about the time where I would expect Embiid to check back in. They might give him a little more run. 7:52 left in the second here. Usually a little bit after that 6-minute mark or before that 6-minute mark is typically when he rotates back in. Wouldn't surprise me if he subs back in after this break.
Bulls have only taken 5 threes in this game. Sixers are 4 for 12. Bulls are 2 for 5. Interesting. Yeah, Daniel House is an interesting piece, man. He's like sometimes he's playable, sometimes you just can't even have him touch the floor.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. I think Morris has been earning some more burn though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he shot 5 for 5 from 3 the other night. Like, when you're shooting at the rate that he is, it's tough to take him off the floor, and I was not a big Marcus Morris guy when they made this trade. That I frankly he was probably the piece that I was least excited about, and that's even including, like, a KJ Martin that I was a little more enticed by. I thought Morris was fully cooked and just past that point in time, but don't forget, this is the same guy that was a primary starter for the Clippers and averaged 15 points per game 2 seasons ago. Like, he still has some of that in the tank, and he's obviously very happy coming home, being in Philadelphia. This is a place where he represents, does a ton for the community, and grew up here. So it's a good moment for Marcus Morris. And if he keeps hitting shots the way he is, it is tough to take him out of the rotation.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I liked what Morris said a couple weeks ago when I asked him why he wasn't playing a lot and how he would handle it. He kind of just said, I'm used to it, but I'm just going to go out there and try to earn my minutes. Like he didn't
Yeah.
complain. He didn't make an excuse. He just said, it's different, but I'm here and I'm going to do what I can. So we will see how it plays out. Once again, appreciate everybody being in here, guys. Be sure to support the show on all platforms. Follow us Instagram, Twitter, join the Discord, all the other links down below. Become a channel member. Got a ton of people in here tonight. Shout out to our channel members. Once again, at halftime, I will be releasing the reins over to Sean. I'll be going over to A to Z Philly covering the Eagles game. So you guys will get a whole half of Sean Bernard. Be sure to support him everywhere, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking forward to taking the reins a little bit, RV. And you obviously got the highly anticipated Eagles versus Seahawks game today. It's been a strange day in Philly sports. The flex and all the drama across both teams with injuries, illness, all these things. Been a lot of uncertainty all day.
Absolutely, man. And there is a 3-ball from Chicago right out of the timeout. 7:35 to go here in the second. So the Bulls are going to lead it by 8. Maxey up top. Here comes a screen. Another one. Maxey going to drive, going downhill. Tried to get that extra pass in, and it was knocked away. Going to stay with Philly. Tobias Harris back in the game.
I would have rather Maxey gone up with that. I think he had the corner turned on that one. I think he kind of overpassed in that situation.
I agree. Paul Reed coming out. So I guess Joel's coming back in now.
See if they show him. It has to be him. Yep, and there he is.
Maxey up top, guarded by Javon Carter. Kelly Oubre all the way. Can't get it to fall. Tried to get it back. Embiid wants to save it. Tried to throw it off of White out of bounds, but could not. So it'll be Chicago basketball. Guys, we need 2 more likes. 2 more. Let's go. Who's going to get us there? Get us to 300 likes, man.
I do like the effort of trying to throw the ball off Kobe White, but it doesn't look great when you miss on trying to throw it off a guy out of bounds.
Absolutely. Here's Javon Carter going to find Kobe White. White had a magnificent start to this game. Carter for 3. Missed it.
He's everywhere.
Tough rebound. Kobe White sidestep triple, airballed it. Drummond gets it back. Third time. Is it the charm? It's not. And Oubre will pick it up. Really a low-scoring first half so far for Philly, man. They got to get going here.
And it is not a winning brand of basketball if they're allowing 3 shots on a single possession like that. I'm not loving the zone defense they're playing.
Embiid just freaking tanked Drummond.
Draws the charge.
Former foes. They hated each other. Then they were really good friends. And now they're back to going up against each other. I mean, I knew he was going to get called for that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. The officials, even on these streams, doing them every single game as we're here, every single game, Sixer Game Day Live. Man, the officials have been really bad this year. But I kind of just let it go at this point. It's frustrating.
Been a whole lot of referee show this year, which is super disappointing and frustrating. As much as that's a fair call that Drummond was in the spot there, I didn't think that was overly egregious by Joel dropping the shoulder. Felt like some pretty normal post-up moves to me.
Yep. And there go the Bulls once again. They lead it by 10. Don't tell me it's going to be one of those games, one of those dragged out Sixer can't score. But even when it's been like this in the first half, they usually rebound and they come out hungry. So Embiid puts it up and he got it to go. Back to an 8-point game. Joel's the only one so far, really. 5:48 to go. Joel's got 16 points. Here are the Bulls. And Vucevic wide open, a 3-ball, missed it that time. Picked up by Tobias. Let's see if he can get something going. Come on, man. Come on, man. You only got 3 points, 2 shot attempts. Bad turnover.
Some sloppy play.
Into the lane. Wow. Reverse slam by Patrick Williams, and the Sixers are down by 10. Here's Joel going to turn, kick. Maxey drives. Maxey to float. Got it. Nice bucket.
Sixers need that out of Maxey too. Let's inject a little life here.
Patrick Williams up top. Pretty good young player for the Chicago Bulls. They have some young talent here. They have a core to build around. Here's Ayo Dosunmu. Kicks it up top. Javon Carter signed an extension this offseason. Vucevic, one-handed float. Can't get it to drop. Here come the Sixers. 4:50 to go in the first half. Maxey trying to get another bucket. He's going to turn, kick back. Joel jabs, pumps, drives. Oh, my gosh. Where are you going? And he draws the foul. Vucevic, I don't know if he was trying to sell that or what, but, he went flying.
Flying off the screen. I wish Joel was able to hit the jumper there. That would have been a highlight reel play if he was able to knock that one down.
That last one was over the basket a little bit there. Joel gave him a little push. Shout out to Nick Curcio with the $5 super chat. Says keep grinding, fellas. Appreciate that.
Shout out Nick. Does a lot of our editing over on Pick Swap Media as well. So appreciate you, Nick.
Shout out to him, man. Appreciate you being in here. Joel at the line, gonna knock it down. Looks like Vucevic got a tech, I think.
He wanted the offensive foul, it seems like.
He's still complaining about that. Guys, do we have 200 likes yet? Chat usually tells me. Chat sleeping tonight? Chat sleeping. We got 200 likes. Let's go, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Welcome on in. Joel at the line. He's going to knock it down. And I believe he's got another one coming. 41-35. We got the MVP at the line. Drop the MVPs in the chat. Joel Embiid averaging more points per game than minutes. The only other guy to do that was Wilt Chamberlain in 1961, who averaged 50 points per game in 48 minutes. That is just absurd. I don't know about you. I have this argument sometimes, but like Wilt to me is on my Mount Rushmore. Like he is absolutely just one of the most dominant players of all time.
Yeah, it's tough to debate the numbers. Just stuff that no one will replicate again. Talking about the 100 points in a game. There was a season where he averaged over 48 minutes per game, meaning that he played every single minute of every game and overtime in that year. There also was a season where people said he could not pass, so he just went out and led the league in assists because he wanted to. So he was that special of a talent, and for sure a guy that does not get enough shine when having these all-time great discussions.
Absolutely, man. Caruso popping a triple. Comes up short on that one, though. Here come the 76ers. Tobias going to find Joel. Pump fakes, drives, and he traveled. It's going to be a turnover. Let's go, guys. Almost 400 people in here. Get this to 300 likes. Can we get 80 more likes? Can we do it? Drop a like on the show. Let us know if you're enjoying this collaboration. Chopping it up here. It's been a little bit of a rough, bumpy first half, but got you covered all night here on Philly Take with RB. Here is Kobe White. Going to find DeRozan. Back up to White. Back to DeRozan. Batum guarding. Back to Kobe White. Pops a three, and it's good.
Deep three for Kobe White, too. He's feeling it.
Yeah, he's starting to take that leap.
Yeah.
Anthony Melton been quiet a couple games. Puts up a layup. Missed it. Got it back. There we go. There we go. Got to keep answering. Caruso again. Coming around the big man. One bounce. Vucevic puts it up. Got it. Let's go, man. Come on. Can somebody else other than Joel please get a bucket? Tobias. Yes, please. Melton. No, nobody wants to take the rock.
Joel.
Step back three, Joel. Tough shot, man. Can somebody else take the rock? Please. This is my issue with Tobias. Like, he's non-existent.
Yeah, he's on 3 points tonight. Joel has 19. Maxi
2
has
shots.
2 shots, just not good enough.
And he just got worked on defense. Wide open 3, Williams. Come on, bro. I'm not used to doing these streams with headphones on. I'd be walking around by now just infuriated, but come on, Tobias. Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Another timeout by Nick Nurse here. And you have to wonder when the point will be with Nick Nurse if he ever pulls the trigger and makes let me bench Tobias a little bit. That I don't feel there should be loyalty to Tobias that you have to play him 35 minutes a night. There was a period of time a couple weeks ago where Tobias was 4th in the league in minutes per game. There is no reason why that should be the case. And by the way, Maxi was leading the pack with first in that one. He's now dropped to second, trailing only Fred VanVleet because of setting out the past couple fourth quarters. But yeah, I think Tobias has far too long of leash for how long he's on the floor. And especially when you're looking for more offense, maybe this is a night where you give Kelly Oubre a little extra leash. I know he has not been playing well either, so I get not wanting to throw him in here, but it can't be worse than what we're getting from Tobias right now. There's got to be a point where you have enough sticking with him.
I'm not opposed to it, man. I mean, I think the formula is let Joel and Tyrese do their thing and just put the best complementary pieces around. Like, get the best fits, 3-and-D guys. And, I mean, even if Tobias isn't taking the rock, like, he's got to play good defense. You can't have plays like that just happen. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, man. Guys, get this to 300 likes. We need 80 more. Drop a like on the show if you enjoy this content. Got a couple minutes here to go in the first. And before I hop on out of here for the night, let's see. If Toby and Kelly don't score, we have problems. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then I guess this circles back to like what the Sixers are looking for. These are the nights where you can see they still need a little more offensive firepower for sure.
Absolutely. Joel's getting hacked. No call, though. Here's Batum going to find Maxi. 5 on the shot clock. Maxi, Embiid from the elbow. Got it again, man. Unreal. This is one of those games that reminds me of 21, where Joel has over half the damn points in the first half. 21 points. The team has 40. Somebody's got to get going for him.
An efficient 21 points, too. 21 points on 13 shots for Joel. That's good stuff.
Exactly. Turnover by Chicago. Couldn't find the backdoor cut to DeRozan. Here come the Sixers. Both teams rocking with 8 turnovers. Maxi, a quick 3. Tough shot, man. Tough shot. Sixers were up early in this game. It's kind of crumpled down here ever since the first 6 minutes. Here's DeRozan working against Maxi. DeMar DeRozan puts it up off balance. That mid-range is bread and butter, man. Bread and butter.
Not bad defense by Maxi either. And they have switched back the man-to-man. Glad they got out of that zone. I did not like the looks that was creating for the Bulls. So glad for a switchback, but didn't stop DeRozan there.
And there's Tobias with another turnover. Here comes Chicago off the turnover. Williams all the way, missed the layup. Just rolled off the left side of the rim. Melton, 1 bouncer. Maxi, too easy in transition. That's what they need more of. 51-42. 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. Drop some likes on the stream, man. Get those likes up. DeMar DeRozan working against Joel. Here is Vucevic. 1 bouncer. Poked away by Tobias. Nice hands.
And with 50 seconds left to go, it would be nice to see the Sixers close out this half strong, put them in a nice puncher's distance as they head into the second half. So these next possessions could swing things a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to all my channel members. Let us know you're in this chat, man. DeRozan pull up. Got it again from the baseline. How many does he have? Let's see. He's got 6 points.
Feels like more.
It honestly does. Maxi going to find Joel. Joel working. Pull up again. Joel, it's money. I mean, it's automatic. He can't be stopped, man. He can't be stopped.
I do agree. It does feel like a different season where it's Joel Embiid and nobody else, where he's not getting the help from the supporting cast tonight. We haven't had that issue for most of this year.
DeRozan again. Can somebody play defense?
Yeah.
Now, usually in these types of games, this year, it feels like the team has bounced back strongly. Like it feels like they come out of halftime with a reinvigorated energy, and it's like, okay, here we go. But they're gonna have to do it tonight, man. I'm not seeing it from anybody except for Joel so far.
Yeah, and currently Joel Embiid with 23 points, the rest of the team with 21. That's just not going to cut it.
Absolutely not. 6 seconds ago, time for one more. I don't know about you, but maybe it's just that I finally have somebody to talk to on here for once, but it feels like it's been a quick half as well in a way. Like I feel like there hasn't been a lot of stoppage. Maybe it's just me though.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that as well. It's been this half has flowed pretty well from the actual basketball perspective. Not a whole lot of messiness, not a lot of free throws or stoppages here, but not exactly the results that I would be hoping for.
Honestly, it's only been about 50 minutes, so it's actually going pretty quick. And another turnover by Philly. 3, 2, 1. Williams slipped. Looked like he actually came up hobbled there. He might be hurt.
Did look like he kind of jammed his foot or knee or something there. A little weird on the way he landed on that one.
Might be a wet spot. But anyway, we go to the halftime. Sixers down 55-44. Once again, welcome in Philly Take with RB Sixer Game Day Live. And as I mentioned earlier, I will be hopping off here in a couple minutes to go head over to cover the Eagles on A to Z Philly. Be sure to check me out on there. And Sean will be taking over. But if you don't know, at halftime, every game I do a segment, one word. So guys, drop one word in the chat right now to describe this game so far. Give me one word to describe this game. Let us know your thoughts. And I will leave it to Sean to kind of go over the box score here and chop it up. But first off, everybody in the chat as well, drop a fire if you enjoy this collaboration. I would love to get Sean on these more. And really just in some type of capacity. I feel like it's been a good first half flowing, and it's been fun, man. So I appreciate all your help, and it's been nice having another person on here to chop it up with.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Always a pleasure chopping it up, and good to break down the Sixers. Wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, and hopefully a better second half than that I have to talk about than we've had through the first.
Hopefully, man. They're like, yo, you got to get. They're telling me they're like, you got to get out of here. Maybe then they'll pick it up. We got sleeping, lackadaisical, DeRozan, disgruntled, cardiac. Shout out to Jeremiah. Tired, trash, lackadaisical, checked out. Who else? We got let's see. Embiid, Glitch says W duo, slacking. Yeah. I mean, those are all good words to describe this half. It's been very like lackluster. They started off hot, like it were really hot. And then out of nowhere, it kind of just like they just went on like that one run at the end of the first quarter where they couldn't get anything going. Nobody could hit a shot. It was like a 13-0 run by Chicago. Then you had like Kobe White turn into MJ real quick. And Sixers battled back, but if it does feel like the Bulls are in command of this game so far. So hopefully the Sixers can pick it up, man, and turn it around. Definitely going to be a big week. They want to try to get this win here before going up against Minnesota. But we got 226 likes. Guys, drop a like on the stream. Hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys stay in here all game if you're not watching the Eagles, and support my guy Sean, man. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on Wednesday, but I will let Sean take over the rock now. And
absolutely. Yeah, well, appreciate you giving me the chance, RB, and best of luck with all the Eagles stuff, and ready to break down this entire second half.
Absolutely, man. Guys, show Sean some love. Drop comments, drop questions. Let him know, how we do things, and keep the chat flowing for him, and he'll do his best commentating the game and chopping it up. Like I said, he's a natural, and be sure to support him on all his platforms wherever he's dropping content, because he's one of the best out there doing it. So I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you all a little bit later, man. But Sean, I'll let you take it over.
Yeah, appreciate it, RB. Best of luck, and yeah, let's get into this second half a little bit here. So,
all right, man.
Let's do it. Yeah, I agree with what RB said to kind of close up shop there, that I do think that this Bulls team has controlled the pace for most of the first half. There's a couple of changes that I would like to see from the Sixers a little bit. That appreciating the love everybody too. But I do think that a little too much zone defense from the Sixers in that first half. Felt like that they were allowing too many easy shots from the perimeter specifically there. So would like to see that changed up. And the bottom line is this Sixers team just has to find a way to get some sparks. So I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think that is? Could this be a Kelly Oubre second half turnaround? Do you think that's where the offense comes from? Can Maxey get hot? We've seen him catch fire on plenty different occasions. Would love to see that in the second half. He's been really quiet with just 9 points in the first half. And frankly, it has felt like less than that from Maxey. 9 points on 4 of 10 shooting. Just not great. So hopefully that improves. And Travis, appreciate the comment here. Sixers Digest is a page where I drop a ton of Sixers specific content. You also can catch me on Fox 1025 The Gambler on air for the radio there. So we have a YouTube channel there. Have a podcast called Picks and Roll with Sean Brace, where we talk all things NBA there. And then Pick Swap Media as well is my own little brand that we're building out there. Pick Swap Podcast is my own Sixers podcast on there. So a little bit of everything. And appreciate the love from you, Justin, on good breakdowns. Much love there. And yeah, hopefully some positive things to break down after this game. So a little nervous after that first half. I do have to ask, do you guys think this could be a moment of running out a little bit of steam, or this team feeling themselves a little bit too much after all those blowout wins? You do have to wonder if the good things do have to come to an end at some point. I think this Bulls team, while they do absolutely have their problems, this is a team that is more competitive than the Pistons and the Wizards and some of these other teams that the Sixers have steamrolled in the past. So got Dom chiming in here saying, want to see Maxey go off and love to say Tobias, but I don't know if that's happening. Yeah, it is tough to have confidence in Tobias based on that first half and really the track record throughout the season. I like this. I think Embiid has 60. I could absolutely see this being a game where Joel Embiid absolutely takes it over, as has been the case through the first half. That 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, him having 23 points and the rest of the Sixers having 21. That's not quite the recipe for success. And I'm even going to dig down and take a look at some of the bench scoring for the Sixers team here. Not a lot to talk about. The Dan House with 3 points, Paul Reed with 2 points, and the rest of the bench being scoreless. Kelly Oubre in 8 minutes, 0 for 4 from the field. He did add 2 rebounds. Covington, 0 points. Pat Bev, 0 points, 0 for 2 from 3. So, yeah, needs some secondary scoring. Maxey needs to get hot. Totally agree, Chris. Yeah, kind of a sloppy first half on both sides. The 55-44 score, a little lower scoring than we've seen across most of the NBA this year. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we see the shots start to fall a little bit. And to dive in specifically from the Sixers side of things, shot 17 of 41 from the field, just 4 of 14 from 3, 28.6% there. That's not going to be good enough for the Sixers. And I also would like to see a little more volume. That let's get up these 3-point looks. We know that in today's modern NBA, the simple math of 3 points is better than 2. That if they're settling for these mid-range jumpers, and of course, when you're hitting them, they're great. But I would like the Sixers to be a little more reliant, or put an emphasis on getting up a couple more 3-pointers. Nicholas Batum, only 1 3-point attempt. D'Anthony Melton was 0. Let's change that. Let's get him firing a little bit. Dom on the same page that Embiid might have to get 45 or 50. Yeah, no free throw attempts by Tyrese Maxey on the 4 of 10 from the field. I think that's a great point, that this has been a little bit of an up and down area for Maxey. We know with his size, with his speed, what he can do. And there's been flashes where we see him having better body control and kind of getting a better whistle. That is something that tends to happen across the NBA. That's frustrating to me, that the better the player you are, the more willingness the referees are to blow the whistle. At times it feels like Maxey gets the call, and at times it feels like he doesn't. And for tonight specifically, I don't think it's a referee issue. I don't think that there's been enough of a focus from Maxey specifically in attacking the rim and getting to the line, that you seek out that opportunity, you seek out that contact, and you end up getting repaid for it. So we see it with Joel constantly, of when he needs that just easy offense, that efficient offense, he makes it a point to get to the free throw line. That's smart basketball. And people can complain about it, but you look across the league and all these guys are doing it. Giannis is doing it. I mean, he shot 32 free throws the other night, 32 from one player, Giannis. So yeah, I would like to see Maxey add that to his game a little more and continue to get better at that for sure. Checking in on a couple comments here. Let's see what we got. We got Jad checking in here, said, we love Maxey, but we need him to show him some tough love. He hasn't been as aggressive ever since he dropped that 50. I think that's a little bit of a fair point there, that I do think at times Maxey has still not figured out how good he truly is, that in his brain, he hasn't quite turned that notch of, I'm that dude, I need to take over, in the way that I would like him to. So hopefully that is the case. We see a little bit of a change, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's getting that exact speech in the locker room right now. And shout out Prince right here chiming in, said only down 11. Once our guys start hitting besides Joel, it's a W. I agree. They're only down 11 points. They're within striking distance. And overall, I would classify that as a pretty bad half from these Sixers there. So I do think that they can wake up in the second half and find a way to win this game. But let's see what happens. And we got Phil chiming in here. Said Sixers need another guard. I do think that's an interesting conversation to have as we kind of bring in this conversation and figure out what the missing ingredients on the Sixers team are. Tonight is a night that kind of exposes some things that when Tobias Harris doesn't have it and when Tyrese Maxey doesn't have it and Kelly Oubre looking like he doesn't have it, where does this team generate offense from? And that's when you start to shift towards these conversations of looking in the direction of a guy like a Zach LaVine, who is that instant offense. But on the other hand, a guy like Alex Caruso is certainly making his presence felt and making a strong impact on his game. Just to read off his box score, and frankly, I think his impact has gone far beyond the box score tonight, but 6 points in 14 minutes, also added 3 assists and 2 rebounds. He's been everywhere on the defensive side of the ball. I've been very impressed. And yeah, totally agree with Sixers fan 229 here saying Caruso brought them life. It was looking like this was going to get out of hand. The game really did change when Caruso checked into that game. Coming off the bench, Chris agreeing with this, saying Caruso could be that guard. It's an excellent point there that we are seeing the impact. And as I mentioned when talking with RB, that all of these guys have things to play for, that even though this Bulls team has struggled, has underperformed, that each of these guys are either playing for their next job, playing for a trade, or ultimately to prove that they deserve to be a part of the Bulls' long-term plan, because I think they're still figuring it out. A guy like Kobe White is absolutely running with this opportunity and proving that he is a guy capable of having the keys in his hand a little more than has been the case. So Caruso, it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up. I think my official stance on it for now is I'm frightened by whatever team Caruso ends up on. I think he's going to be a real deal contributor on a playoff contender this season, depending on where it is. I don't know if he strikes me as the guy that the Sixers ultimately make this trade for. If you ask me to make my perfect trade target for the Sixers at this point in time, it would probably either be Lauri Markkanen, who we kind of mentioned, the 5 first-round picks report kind of takes him out of the running in my mind. I love Lauri Markkanen, but I think that's a little bit too steep for basically any player in the NBA, I feel, for 5 first-round picks. And the other guy that I keep circling back to is OG Anunoby. I have no clue what Toronto's ultimate plan is. Frankly, I don't think they do either, which is an issue. I mean, you're going off like last season where they just let Fred VanVleet walk for free and go to Houston and not get anything in return for him. They're walking a dangerous line by allowing that to happen with both OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam this offseason. I can see the argument for Pascal as well. A nice link between Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey there. I think Siakam, for me, I'm just not a Siakam guy. I think he's a little bit he fits a little bit in the overrated category for me, that I just never have seen it in the way that he is hyped up to be. Very good player, and I'm not arguing that he isn't talented, but I just don't think he's quite that missing piece in the way. What about OG? I love OG. OG would absolutely be my preference there out of the two, that I think OG is kind of the fat trimmed in his game in a way that we get a lot of the contested twos from Pascal, him doing too much at times. OG keeps the game pretty simple, and I frankly think is a pretty much significantly better defender than Pascal. A couple other comments I want to get to here. Sixers fan 229 chiming in. Any interest in D'Angelo Russell or Hachimura? Hachimura would be interesting to me. I do think he plays a pretty significant role on this Lakers team. They're starting to build him back up to it. I don't think that they're going to be somebody that they're looking to move on from, but I would like him on the Sixers. I like his archetype of player, and I think he's provided some really good minutes for the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell, I once upon a time was a big D'Angelo Russell guy, and frankly, his efficiency numbers look pretty good this year, but there's just something a little bit off about the Russell, and I think he fits a little bit into the same category as LaVine when you're talking about individual success not translating to team success. I think D'Angelo Russell falls in that category, and he's a guy that is a chucker, that he will shoot you in or out of games, that he's going to get his 15 shots a game, regardless if it's LeBron James, Joel Embiid, or Tyrese Maxey next to him, that D'Angelo Russell will be getting his. So it'll be interesting to see how that ultimately plays out. I would not say that I'm a Russell guy there. Checking in on a couple of other comments here. I see a lot of the Lauri love, but yeah, I think the 5 first rounders is just crazy here. This is an interesting name here from Chris here. What do you think, DeJounte Murray? I'm not a DeJounte Murray guy, but I have to say, like, I do kind of see it as the fit, that having him as kind of a defensive-minded guy next to Maxey. I think the Hawks tried to do a similar setup with Trae Young, a little bit different from the standpoint of Maxey being a more team-friendly player than I think Trae Young is. Trae Young, very individual in the way that he plays, and frankly, I think he goes underrated in the conversation. the biggest thing that jumps out to me about Trae Young as a basketball player, I'm always more impressed with his playmaking than I am with him as a scorer. That his ability to throw lobs, to manipulate the defense, to create looks by looking off defenders, passing the other way, it's very impressive to me. But all that results in is that there's not as much freedom for DeJounte Murray to kind of do his thing on the floor. So I could see there being some weight to him looking much better in a Sixers uniform. I also don't fully buy the jump shot as much as I think some people do. The numbers look pretty good, specifically off the catch and shoot, but it just doesn't feel like he's the caliber of shooter that those numbers indicate. So for the right price, I could absolutely be talking to DeJounte Murray, but not a guy that I'm pounding down the door and making sure to get a phone call off. Looks like we got a don't care for Russell from Dom here. Yeah, I frankly, unfortunately agree. What about Jonathan Isaac as a buy low target? See, I love Jonathan Isaac as a basketball player, and he's a guy that if we want to talk about slotting into the Tobias Harris role, that's a tremendous option there. That he's a much better defender, a much better rebounder, much better athlete, and he's like real deal 6'10" size. Isaac is a guy that I would absolutely make a phone call about, and the Magic have a ton of talent and a ton of wings and a ton of young guys that they're looking to build around. I do think he's a piece that is leaking out of the long-term vision. I would love it if the Sixers could find a way to get their hands on him. And he also fits the category that is something that continues to be in my mind of, I want the Sixers to have a guy that is a reliable one-on-one option against the Jason Tatum style of players, or the Jaylen Brown or Giannis, that when we get to these postseason series and we inevitably have to go head-to-head with these top teams, I don't feel great about the Sixers' current options. The Nick Batum, Tobias Harris, Robert Covington, it's not awful. I'm not afraid, but it's certainly not something that I'm excited to see the matchup. And it looks like we're getting back into under action the second half here. Bulls kicking off with the ball. W take on Isaac. Appreciate that, John. And the Bulls starting off, getting the ball to DeRozan here, kicking to Vucevic. Vucevic for three, and he misses that. Joel Embiid with the rebound, gets it to Maxey, taking the ball up the court. And let's see if the Sixers can find a little bit of a flow here. See if we can get a little more two-man action with Maxey and Embiid. I would like to see that a little more. Even while Embiid was hyper efficient in that first half and played very well, felt like a lot of his shots were self-created. And that's where we're off to. A little self-created jumper from Joel Embiid once again from the elbow. You know it's automatic. He knocks down a two to open up the second half here. And here we go. DeRozan taking it down the other end. Sixers back in their zone defense. I don't like that they are doing that. For me, that is a little too dangerous for me, and I don't think they're quite executing it at the way that Nick Nurse wants them to. But they do get the stop on that possession. De'Anthony Melton taking it up the floor. Ooh, and he's taking it himself, taking on DeRozan, and gets the basket and finishes. Strong take by Melton there. I like that. And Nick Batum picking up all 94 feet here, starting down the other end. All over Kobe White. Kobe White looking for the foul, but not going to get it. Melton picking him up now. Kobe White into the lane, kicks to DeRozan. DeRozan with Tobias Harris on it. Looks like he's sizing up, looking for a one-on-one. He drives baseline, drops to the post, gives it to Vucevic. Kobe White coming through again. And misses, but they somehow get the rebound. That looked like Ayo Dosunmu coming in there. Wow. And a rare W finishing Melton. Yeah, the finishing is such a weird storyline for De'Anthony Melton. For a guy who is such a solid athlete, such a just overall solid player, it's weird that his biggest weakness as a player is finishing at the rim. Very strange, but yeah, it's very glaringly obvious. And Maxey kicks to Embiid for three, knocks down another one. Wow, Embiid up to 28 points now. He is feeling it for sure. Strong start out of the second half once again. We got a comment here. Yeah, I am filling in for RB right now. RB switching over, doing some Eagles coverage for this one. So he hung out here in the first half, but I'm holding down the fort, covering things for the second. So yeah, I will be here for the entirety of the game, breaking things down. And hopefully this Sixers team can turn things around and get the win in this one. But yeah, RB did check in for the first half. He's over watching the Eagles and doing some coverage for A to Z Sports now. So you got me filling in for the second half here. And Ayo Dosunmu driving to the basket and is fouled. He's had a kind of a weird trajectory for his career, I would say. I'm a big Ayo Dosunmu fan. Loved him in Illinois. He used to have the glasses and the goggles back in college. I love that look for him. But he has not kind of found his traction in the NBA. He did have a Tony Snell stat line not too long ago where he had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists in 27 minutes of play. Not great for Ayo there, but he also has had his moments where he has shined. I'm glad that they're giving him a little leash, allowing him to play through his mistakes. And we got Kane chiming in here saying, shaking my head, Embiid going to have to score 60 to win the game. It does unfortunately look that way. That it does look like we might be in that Embiid's going to have to carry this team. And that is the frustrating part. I think we're all looking for the moment where Embiid can get the reins and have those nights where he takes his foot off the gas as he drives to the basket and dunks it home for 2 more. Embiid over 30 points already on the night. Sixers trailing by 6, 9:27 left in the third here. Yeah, I would like for Embiid to be able to take his foot off the gas a little more. Yes, the MVP could play in the fourth. It is certainly trending like this will not be the 10th game this season that Embiid will be waiting out. It's awesome that he has 9 games where he has not had to play the fourth quarter this year, but this does not look like one that will be added to that list as of now. And here's Maxey. Geez, driving a little out of control. He did get the foul call. I think he got bailed out a little bit on that one. I did not love that drive attempt by Tyrese Maxey, but he will head to the line for 2. And as we talked about at halftime, I do want to see him getting to the free throw line a little more. That's a great way to manufacture offense, find your flow. And there's nothing like as a shooter and as a basketball player to get yourself going than simply getting to the line, shooting a couple free throws, and seeing the ball go through the hoop. Got Robin chiming in here. Said the Heat are killing the West Timberwolves by 15. Wow. That is interesting. We obviously know these Sixers will be facing off against the Timberwolves next game, I believe on Wednesday, that is. So curious to see how that shakes out. It's a tough matchup. They've already faced off once this year. I'm sorry. This will be their second matchup. The Timberwolves have played some really good ball. Their half-court defense looks the real deal, but I'm still not fully bought in on the Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns kind of Twin Towers technique there. Maxey knocks down the pair of free throws. Kobe White takes the ball, dribbling up court. Bulls are setting up their half-court set here. Kobe White gets the switch with Melton. Sixers once again in that zone. They do get a turnover here. Well done by Melton to kick that. A Batum 3 down the other end. Rims right out. But Melton with the offensive board. Kicks to Batum again. Pump fake. Take 2. Second one goes down for Batum. I'm saying that Maxey has been a little erratic. I do agree with that. This has been far from Maxey's best game with the Sixers. Some of the decision-making has been strange. And Tiki, you are absolutely right that Rudy Gobert has been hooping this year. He looks back to his defensive player of the year level of play, that he's really been cleaning up everything around the rim. Been impressive. So, yep, we get back in this game hella quick. Good run by the Sixers here. Yeah, great run here. That we do see them coming back. And Joel Embiid is now the first NBA center with 30 points in 12 straight games since Moses Malone in 1982. Some historic stuff that we are seeing from Embiid here, and it is amazing. It is night in and night out. He needs one more rebound to continue the Sixers franchise record of most consecutive games with 30 points and 10 rebounds. Plenty of game left for him to get that one, so I'm confident that that will be the case. But yeah, he did snap Wilt Chamberlain's record for that, I believe, 2 games ago. This would be his 10th consecutive game that he does have that. I do expect that to be the case. So really some historic stuff that we were seeing from Embiid, and totally agree. Straight up unstoppable. This combination of size, strength, touch, it is amazing. I'm coming on a Bulls timeout here. We got a comment here saying, in the beginning, Maxey was doing great, but throughout these past few games, things started to go downhill a little bit. And part of that, I think, is a little bit of just, I don't want to say teams figuring him out, but the more film and tape that you put out, teams have an opportunity to pick up your tendencies. And it's cool to see kind of the balancing act that Tyrese Maxey is going to have to adjust to that now. And I do ultimately think he will, but there are growing pains. This isn't just in straight up upward trajectory, that there is some give and take. You're going to have your ebbs and flows that you have to figure out. This is his first season being asked to be the primary just co-star to Joel Embiid. There's a lot of expectation and pressure that comes with that. So Melton, Maxey, I do believe will deliver on that, but we're certainly seeing a little bit of growing pains here. Robin, appreciate the compliment there. Melton being a pesky defender. Phil, I appreciate the love as well. I definitely do need to get more into the lives. Going to figure something out with RB or a game plan or something along those lines, because I do enjoy doing this, especially with him. And yeah, myself, I do as well. So we got 59-58, 1-point game. So all of a sudden we got a game again after that poor first half. And frankly, I don't think the Sixers have looked awesome to start this second half, but you can't argue with the results here. And to lay it out purely in the box score to start this third quarter, let's see what we're looking at here. 14-4 run by the Sixers to start this quarter. So yeah, it does not get much better than that. Let's hope they keep this going as they come right back out of this break. And we're checking rock and playing up again here. Kobe White taking the ball up the floor. Nick Batum on Kobe White. Switches. Maxey on him now. They switch again. Handoff to DeRozan. DeRozan with Tobias Harris on him. DeRozan looking to get to that mid-range, but passes to Coby White now. Coby White, the deep three, can't hit, and Embiid pulls down the board. Well done. And Tyler with a little update. We got a touchdown Eagles. Yeah, keep me posted on the score in there, people. I will be checking in on the Eagles game immediately after this game ends, but do want to make sure that we get the breakdown of these Sixers, the good vibes that are the Sixers. Plenty of hectic and I guess a little bit of a downfall going down in the Eagles world there. Shout out to Bird Game, no fly zone here. But glad the Sixers are kind of keeping things afloat and being the good vibes team of the city. I never would have guessed it would be them based on the track record. And by the way, that 10th rebound by Embiid does advance that continued Sixers franchise record of 11 straight 30-10 games there. So shout out to Joel Embiid, man. Historic stuff. And again, we know the level of talent is going to be the criticism, but the bottom line is he's doing this at a rate that nobody else can or ever has done, as Embiid kicks to Maxey for three, who knocks it down, and the Sixers have their first lead since the first quarter. Love to see that there. Shout out to Lou World here, catching up. We got 30-10 for the 11th straight game. Yep, you're absolutely right. Funny from Tiki said, that's how I feel as a Celtics and Patriots fan. At least the C's are killing it. Yeah, tough for the Patriots right now, but. And Tobias Harris tries to go coast to coast, stripped by Vucevic there. That was far too easy. Tobias Harris leaving the ball for the taking there. Bulls coming down the other end. Vucevic with the ball, looking for three. Nope, decides to drive and goes to this little floater he hits over Embiid. That's a couple times that he's hit that little floater. I don't remember that being a go-to shot of Vucevic, but he's gone to it a lot tonight and been really efficient. So he's kind of floating it over Embiid. Kind of a smart move not to challenge Embiid directly because we know the shot blocking talent that Embiid is capable of. Embiid turns it over down the other end and chase down block. I couldn't tell if it was Embiid or Batum that got to it, but the Bulls do keep the possession alive. Coby White now with Tobias Harris on it, driving to the rim, attacking Joel, and Joel fouls him. A little bit of sloppy basketball these past couple possessions. Hopefully Sixers settle in a little bit here. Nico Batum with a nice little pump fake blow by to create that end up Maxey three. Brought the Bulls defense collapsing all over the place. I like Lou World's comment here. This got the Patriots here, so you had your decade. Very fair that you got to leave those trophies for other people as well. Alex Caruso checking back into the game. Not great news for the Sixers there. He certainly made an impact in the first half. Let's have a careful eye on Alex Caruso once again here in the second half, and I am going to look at him from the Sixers perspective for what he does. And I mentioned this a little bit with RB, but one of the factors that I very much have my eyes on with Alex Caruso is his ability to make entry passes. That a lot of the criticisms of Joel Embiid as he pump fakes at the three-point line, attacks and slams it home. Impressive dunk by Joel Embiid. Wow, he went up for that one. That was good to see. That is the Joel Embiid aggressiveness that we do love. And as much as the mid-range jumpers are bread and butter, there is something about when he just goes up and slams it down like that at his size. So up to 32 points tonight for Joel Embiid on 12 of 19 from the field. Alex Caruso misses a three and Embiid collects the rebound down the other end. But as I was mentioning with Caruso, that his ability to make entry passes is something that I think is very vital with this Sixers team. As Embiid pump fakes, looks for another three, and is attacking Vucevic once again. Kicks out to Maxey, who kicks it to Batum for three and can't quite hit. Tobias Harris fighting for the board, can't quite collect it. The Bulls attack down the other end. Coby White right to the rim, and that is too easy. He slams it down the other end. Too easy for Coby White in transition there. Yeah, he might be auditioning for the Sixers. I believe this is Alex Caruso. This is a reference. But yeah, he's looked good as a connective passer. He's competed defensively. And Batum has made such an impact for being a good entry passer or getting the ball to Embiid in the post. The Sixers have struggled to find guys with that skill set. That James Harden was obviously excellent at it, and that helped Embiid to elevate to the best scorer in the league, leading the league in scoring the past two seasons. But with Batum, what he brings on with that is it allows Embiid to get deep post position, be able to collect the ball, and then either get the opposing center in foul trouble or get just an easy post bucket. That they have not had enough guys. And when Embiid is unable to get the ball down low like this is then when we see him drift out to the three-point line, and because he's frustrated not getting the ball. So having a guy that's capable of making those types of passes is huge for the Sixers offense. I do believe Caruso could potentially be another one of those. But Embiid misses the three there. The Bulls back with the ball. Coby White once again driving down. Vucevic goes to that little floater again and hits it once again. That has been absolute money for him tonight. Very impressive stuff from Vucevic there. He on the game is up to 12 points now. 12.6 rebounds for Vucevic, 2 assists as well, 0 for 3 from 3, but a pretty good game overall from Vucevic. And yeah, he's going to that floater a ton. Melton misses a 3 down the other end. Got 67-63 Bulls with a lead at this point. They're on an 8-2 run at this very moment as Vucevic knocks down a 3 now, and he's starting to feel it a little bit. Timeout from Nick Nurse here. And Vucevic providing a little bit of a unique challenge to the Sixers team. That Embiid struggles when there's a big man that likes to go out to the perimeter and shoot threes. That Embiid is far more comfortable when he's able to be a true rim protector, cover up for others' weaknesses, block shots, do all those things. Vucevic is a guy that pushes him out and it wants to force him to guard on the perimeter. Embiid at times struggles, like that possession right there, which just created an open look for Vucevic. Embiid, that's been an area that I've been a little bit frustrated with him, specifically this season. I think it's been worse than most, that he is a little more willing to just give the guy that 3-point shot when frankly, there's a lot of shooters that you just can't do that. And Vucevic absolutely fits in that category. Even with him being now 1 of 4 from 3, 0 for 3 before that possession, you still got to respect the jump shot and the quality that he has. Seeing a lot of Tobias Harris slander in the chat. I understand it. And this is the frustrating part of Tobias Harris, that 1 for 3 from the field, 3 points. And frankly, what upsets me the most when we talk about Tobias Harris, he's played 27 minutes on the floor and shot the ball 3 times, got 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. That is just not good enough. And when you look down the list of players playing, Embiid with 27 minutes, Tobias Harris with 27 minutes. I don't ever expect Harris to outperform Embiid from a statistical standpoint. Obviously, we know who these guys are at players at this point. But in 27 minutes, Joel Embiid has 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. In 27 minutes, Tobias Harris has 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. You got to find ways to get involved, get active. Never mind the fact that he's also been bad on the defensive side of the floor. Patrick Beverly with no points, and the Sixers are minus 21 when he's on the floor. Yeah, it wasn't a great Pat Bev run when he was in for the second quarter. Embiid literally has more points than the entire team. Yep, you are unfortunately correct on that. No ball movement on offense, too much giving to Embiid and watching a la last season. It's affecting the defense as well. Yeah, I do think defensively that is where this issue, we're seeing a lot of that the Bulls are making life look easy on both sides of the floor. There hasn't been that connective ability on both sides of the floor for these Sixers tonight. So very disappointing there. Hopefully they can clean things up. Jamal saying, think this is the trade deadline that Tobias gets moved. Certainly a possibility. Frankly, something I'd be very in favor of. I also just don't get the logic of having to play him. When he's playing bad, take him out. Give Kelly Oubre some more burn. Give Robert Covington some more burn. Even give Daniel House a chance. At least, I would rather that than just knowing that he is playing bad. I don't understand the blind loyalty to making sure this guy gets 35 minutes a game. He's a fine player. There's things that he does well. He's well-rounded. I get using him. I get the money. But there's no reason to just commit and blindly play him 35 minutes every single night, as has really been the case this year. Now, on the other side of the coin, I do think there's something toward keeping his confidence high and more so showcasing to other teams, to allowing him to continue to see him play. But yeah, it is frustrating there. Sixers come back in here. Kelly Oubre coming in the game, and it looks like Nick Nurse did hear us talking here as Tobias Harris has pulled out Oubre in the game. We got Joel Embiid, Nick Batum, Kelly Oubre, Pat Bev, and DeAnthony Melton. So Maxey catching a little break here as well. And I totally agree with Phil here. No idea why Nick keeps Tobias in. If not playing well, bench him. Totally agree. That should be the case. A lot more Tobias Harris hate here as the Bulls have the ball. Alex Caruso with the ball in hand. Swings to Javon Carter. Back to the corner. Nice trap by the Sixers. But it looks like they called a foul. I did think that they caused a turnover there. Looked like Melton and Oubre trapping in the corner. But ultimately, it looks like they called a reach. I believe the foul was on Kelly Oubre there. Yeah, and he did. He caught Patrick Williams on the wrist a little bit there. The right call by the officials, but I do like the defensive effort and intensity to trap by the Sixers there. Pat Bev on Caruso as he attacks the rim, gets to the paint. That is too easy. 2 more points for Caruso there as the Bulls stretch the lead to 72-65. 3:21 left in the third quarter at this point. Pat Bev taking the ball up the floor. Embiid looking like he's setting an off-ball screen for Kelly Oubre. Now popping out. Embiid gets the ball once again. Dropping in the post. He's got Vucevic on him. Brings the double. Embiid kicks to Pat Bev to Kelly Oubre, who shoots the 3 and misses badly. Kobe White with the rebound down the other end. A pull-up three in transition. I think his toe was on the line, but he misses either way. Embiid collects the board down the other direction and is taking it up himself. Point guard Joel Embiid kicking into action. He dribbles down, kicks it to Pat Bev, sets a screen for Pat Bev. They run another screen. Pat Bev getting to the rim and does finish there. Well done. Nice little two-man game between Pat Bev and Embiid there. Bulls unable to follow and fight through the Joel Embiid screen. Creates an easy bucket for Pat Bev right at the rim there. Kobe White with the ball down the other end. Pat Bev on him, kicks to Vucevic. Once again, the Sixers still playing the zone defense, and it is still hurting them. I'm not liking the zone defense. They get bailed out by a Javon Carter miss there. Nick Batum collects the rebounds, kicks it to Pat Bev, who dribbles down the floor. Embiid setting the screen once again. He looks like he wants the ball. He's popping up, has it near the top of the three-point arc. Looking at Vucevic, looking for the pull-up, shoots from mid-range and misses. Nick Batum fights and gets the offensive board, kicks to Pat Bev to Kelly Oubre for three. He cannot hit either, and Kobe White collects it going down the other end. White looking to get aggressive early, kicks it to Alex Caruso to Carter, who shoots the three and knocks it down. And my screen went dark. There we go. Boom. All right. Let me know if you guys are still with me. Not sure why it blanked out there. Check on my camera. I don't know why you can't see me. Make sure you guys still got me in the chat. Please drop a comment. Make sure things are all good. Not sure why my camera is not showing me. Let me know if you guys can see me. All right, so not sure why my face is not showing up. Make sure you guys can still see me. Drop a comment to let me know. All right, you can hear me. No camera still. All right, so I'm going to figure this out. I'm not sure exactly why that is. I turned into John Cena. Love the comment here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the camera, but I will get it sorted for sure. Boom. And in the game, we still have Embiid with a foul here. Not a good Kelly Oubre night tonight, by the way. Let me see if I do this. Nope, still no me. Sorry about this, guys. Great comment by Tiki here saying you turned into Tobias Harris, just completely gone. Love that. Andre Drummond at the free throw line. Embiid just picked up his fourth foul on. Ooh, Embiid with 4 fouls here. Do not like to see that, especially. No, I don't believe that's correct. I believe I saw a mistake on the Twitter timeline there. Can't believe I'm just Tobias Harrising here and just no showing. Pat Bev steering the ship down the other end, kicks it to Maxey back in the game. Pat Bev misses a floater, gets his own board, and ultimately turns the ball over. I apologize on the camera, guys, trying to get this sorted still. We're going to try something here. There we go. All right, so there I am. Looks like I'm frozen. All right, we're getting closer. And I'm going to make sure we still talk through this here. So DeRozan gets the mid-range and hits a tough bucket over Robert Covington here. So tough there. 78-69, Bulls have a lead here. And that was correct that Embiid does have 4 fouls here. So that is a big deal as we talk about kind of the outlook for this game for the Sixers. Obviously need him on the floor. Still no camera for me. This is strange. And looks like Embiid heading to the bench with 12 seconds left in the third. They will inbounds to DeRozan. DeRozan taking on Covington. Kicks to Javon Carter, who shoots a 3 and knocks it down. 3.6 remaining in the quarter. Bulls stretch the lead to 12 points on a 22-8 run with 6:42 left. Not a good ending to the quarter for the Sixers. Dom checking in saying Maxey indecisive. Yep, unfortunately the case. And the Sixers do not even get a shot off to end the third here. All right, still trying to get this sorted here. Apologize, guys. All right, we're going back to the background, talking myself through this. And it looks like I got a straight up issue with my camera. All right, so we're going to figure this out. All right, give me 10 seconds, guys. I'm going to be right back with a new camera action, and I'll be right back with you. All right, apologize for stepping away, guys. Got a new camera. I'm booting in now. So we should be back in action right after this. Very weird that this happened, so my apologies, but we are making do. We will be back in action. All right, and there we are. All right, we are coming back. So I'm buckling in for this fourth quarter, just as the Sixers should be. And there we go. All right, cool. So back in action with you guys. You know, no big deal. We play through it. All right. Daniel chiming in here saying none of our starters have over 15 points besides Embiid. Yep, that is the issue, that this is an old school Joel Embiid backpack half the carry situation. And frankly, this is not the way to win games if you are. I appreciate the offer glitch. I believe it is my camera. I was using my normal laptop camera and doesn't seem like it connected or got disconnected, but whatever. I got a webcam that I'm plugged in with, so it should be good with you throughout the end. And I appreciate the compliment from the Frostbite Fire here. Appreciate the commentary. Like your analytical approach. Appreciate that as well. Yeah, RIP green screen. Having a little tech issues here, but you know what? We're buckled in and good to go for the fourth quarter as we kick things off. Start with a lineup of Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre. We got Robert Covington. And then in addition, we have a little B-ball Paul out the mud action. And that looks like Pat Bev to round things out. And Paul Reed attacks and gets fouled to start this up. They're hitting all their threes. Yeah, they sure are here. Appreciate that, J-Bot. We got 76ers will win. Don't worry. That's right. I like the energy, guys. We got some hope. Let's get a strong start to this corner, bring Joel Embiid in, and take things home. I think that should be the game plan here, that really we're looking for this second unit to kind of cut the lead a little, make this a ball game, and then Joel Embiid will ultimately be the closer. That should be the blueprint. I don't hate this from Daniel to say, put Bamba in. I've liked what I've seen from Mo Bamba. He's been pretty solid. I do like his stretch big ability to step outside, hit three-pointers. That's a real deal weapon in this offense. So, yeah, I would not mind kicking the tires and giving a little Bamba a little run here. Whereas the other announcer, RB, had to chime off and hop towards some Eagles coverage there. So just me for this last quarter here. And we have Caruso attacking, collapsing the defense. He kicks to Carter, who gets a screen from Drummond, attacks the rim himself. Can't hit. Drummond gets the board, kicks it out, gets another board. Wow. Wild finish. Are they going to give him continuation there and count the bucket? I believe that they are. Quite the finish from Andre Drummond there around Robert Covington with the foul. Got a from Big Rud here, Bulls fan here. I'll be honest, I had this game being close, but did not expect a double-digit lead from the Bulls. Yeah, they're playing quite well as a team. They did not give Drummond the continuation, so Bulls get the ball out of bounds. DeRozan cannot hit on the mid-range. Maxey dribbling the ball up the court, gets a screen from B-ball Paul, step back, shoots the three, and hits it. Maxey with a three here. Sixers needed that one big time. So 81-74, we got a little over 11 minutes still to play. We still got plenty of time here. Sixers have a game. They can lock things up. It just takes a run. Basketball is a game of runs. They just need one guy in addition to Embiid to get hot, and I don't think the Bulls will be able to match that. Starting to lock it up defensively. Pat Bev with a rebound down this side. Kicking to Maxey. Maxey gets the screen from Paul, attacks the rim, and gets his shot blocked by Drummond. Appreciate the comment. The Frostbite Fire. I do. I have a YouTube channel. Pick Swap Media and Sixers Digest are the two that are primarily mine. Also do a ton of work with Fox Sports The Gambler, primarily on the radio side of things, but just started up the YouTube channel there for at Fox Sports The Gambler. So you can check me out a little bit on each of those. I got Suns Geek in the chat. Everyone smash the like. Appreciate the love, Suns Geek. Big fan of your content as well. What's up? Thanks for tuning in here. Got holding down the fort for RB tonight. Good to have you in the chat and see. Big, as I mentioned, big fan of your work as well. So great to see you in here. Sixers now 81-74. We got 10:48 left to play. Pat Bev taking the ball out of bounds. Prince Monito, love it in the chat. RB going to apologize. LOL. All right, as Pat Bev kicks it to Tyrese Maxey, gets another screen from Paul, a ton of two-man action from Paul Reed and Tyrese Maxey. They're doubling him pretty heavy, both, and takes a tough contested. What's the call here? Looks like some sort of foul. Maxey gets basically thrown into the stands there. I believe they got him on the foul, so it looks like he will head to the line, right in the mix of the camera people there. Jeez, somebody took quite the hit. Looks like one of these Sixers staffers there. Jose, appreciate you for checking in. My anxiety is going nuts. 76ers better come on. Yeah, it has not been pretty so far. And the Sixers will get the ball out of bounds now. I'm not sure what the call was there. We got a handoff to Maxey. He's getting doubled again. He's getting doubled every time he touches the ball, and that's what happens when Joel Embiid is not on the floor with him. Pat Bev attacking the rim, goes to the floater and knocks it down. That floater has been Pat Bev's best offensive weapon, shooting the ball pretty well from three, but he looks really comfortable when he gets that little mid-range area, that little touch floater that he does, knocks it down again there. Now a 7-0 run for the Sixers in the last minute 31. It is now a 5-point game. Here we go. We have a ball game, and looks like another injury into the crowd. A dangerous game to be spectating today. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. Looks like it hit a fan in the face there. Don't like to see that. So within the span of a minute, we've had a Sixers staffer to get taken out by a fallen Tyrese Maxey. We had a Robert Covington deflected pass hit a fan in the face there. So dangerous game to be watching here. And appreciate the love for from Sixers fan 229 here. Appreciate that. Much love, my guy. That means a lot as well. Cardiac game coming up. Defense. Yeah, here we are, the home stretch as the Sixers get possession once again. Kelly Oubre dribbling down the court. Kicks it to Pat Bev, who attacks once again. Kicks to B-ball Paul. Back to Kelly Oubre with the slam once again. There we go. And the vibes have changed with the Sixers game. On his head, they are saying in the crowd. I don't know if I would quite give the dunk that much respect. Kelly Oubre cutting to the paint, gets the dish, and slams it home athletically. Wasn't quite on the head in the way the fans and the crowds are getting hyped. Although Drummond did go up with him. All right, that looked a little better on the replay than I thought it did live. But bottom line is that is what Kelly Oubre brings to that team. That splash of athleticism, that ability to rise up, that is a huge deal. And especially when we talk about how often he gets played, there's been so much talk about the dunker spot and the Sixers' usage in the dunker spot. And surprise, surprise, it's a big deal when the guy in the dunker spot is capable of dunking. So after a couple seasons, we had PJ Tucker in that role, or Tobias Harris in that role, even Tyrese Maxey playing in that role under Doc Rivers. And of course, Ben Simmons for a period of time with him. It's a different story when it's Kelly Oubre because he can explode and make athletic plays like that. That was a great moment. That is why Kelly Oubre is on this roster. And a pretty bad overall game by Oubre, 1 of 7 from the field. That was his first basket of the game. But the bottom line is it is an important one. We have 9:52 remaining heading into the final stretch of this game. And Oubre may very well play himself into continuing to stay on the floor for this one. As I mentioned, kind of talking about it with RB in the first half, I would like to see games where Kelly Oubre is that fifth closer instead of Tobias Harris, where they're obviously matchup based and depends on what you need. But on a night like tonight with this Bulls team, what the Sixers team is lacking is offensive firepower. Joel Embiid has been the only player to serve as reliable offense for this team. As I look at the box score, Embiid obviously with 36 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Tyrese Maxey, the next highest score, was 17 points there. And then beyond that, no Sixers player has more than 6 points. We have 6 points from DeAnthony Melton, 3 from Nicholas Batum, 3 from Tobias Harris, 3 from Daniel House, 4 from Paul Reed, 4 from Pat Beverly, and 2 from Kelly Oubre Jr. Obviously not a great Kelly Oubre Jr. game either, but you know what? I do know what he is capable of, and it is plays like that. So as we head into this home stretch of this game, I would not mind if Kelly Oubre gets a little additional burn here. Have loved the Kelly Oubre experience so far. Not his best game, but he's still competing, still finding a way. Let's see what we got. check in on a couple comments here. Prince Manito, shout out you. LMAO, a dunker who can dunk. No way. Yeah, it is pretty crazy how long. Yeah, PJ Tucker in that role was insane. It truly was. And we went through quite a bit of time where that was the case. So let Kelly cook. Totally agree. And Oubre is such a good cutter, too. This is an awesome point by Glitch Zero here. I truly believe Kelly Oubre is the best cutter that has been on the Sixers team throughout really the Joel Embiid entire era. That is a massive skill where you're able to create a shot for yourself without having the ball in your hand. And once again, when you have a roster like the Sixers who has ball dominant players in Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, it's important that you're not going to have the freedom to dribble and create your own shot with the ball in your hands that often. When you can do that by running off screens and creating, that's a huge deal. And Oubre does that to an excellent capacity. And it's also a major reason why Embiid's assists are an uptick. Embiid has caught him on the cut a ton this year. And we are back in action here. Bulls cannot convert. Sixers get a steal. I believe it was B-Wall Paul on that one. Maxey coming down the other end. Dribbling. Paul sets a screen. Maxey kicks to Pat Bev, and we are settling in. Another Paul Reed screen. He's screen monster all over the place tonight. Pat Bev, another one from B-Ball Paul, and Pat Bev taking it himself, lays off to Covington, who can't hit the layup. That is a tough miss by Covington there. Jeez. I don't want to hear the I want Ben Simmons back comments. I don't think I can do it tonight. And Suns Geek checking in once again. We got Kelly Oubre, always has been and always will be one of my favorite players in the league. Loved him on the Suns. Yeah, I've been surprised. There's a really negative kind of perception attached to Kelly Oubre, and I really don't get it. Like, to me, I quite enjoy watching him as a player. I get like there's some tendencies he have that ultimately aren't the most helpful for the team. He can get a little tunnel vision at times. He isn't the most willing passer by any means, but the things that he does do well are very important to a team. So very, very happy with the version of Kelly Oubre that we've seen in Philadelphia so far. And I also think he's totally carrying a little bit of a chip on his shoulder as far as not getting a contract this season. Pat Bev weaves in the basket. Couldn't tell if he tried to lay that up or if he threw a lob for Paul Reed, but the bottom line was Paul Reed did make the catch, come down and finish down the other end. 2 points there. Sixers. Oh, and Kobe White answers right down the other end. A very good game by Kobe White tonight. 85-80. The Bulls hold a lead in this one. Kobe White in this matchup up to 22 points now. Wow, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been phenomenal tonight. Maxey down the other end, step back three, can't hit. Covington fighting for the board, and B-Ball Paul comes up with it and slams it back down. We have a game here. 3-point game, 85-82, 8-12 to go. Should be about 2 more minutes until Joel Embiid checks into this game. Caruso weaving down the lane, gets in and hits a tough layup. Good body control by Caruso to kind of get to his spot in this one. Bulls look like they're bringing in, that looks like DeRozan and Vucevic checking in, and Embiid still on the bench. Maxey with Ayo Dosunmu on him, kicks back to Pat Bev, back to Maxey. Pat Bev sets the screen. He's got Kobe White. This looks like a matchup that Maxey wants. He looks like he wants Kobe White, and he's got him driving. I don't know, kind of fouled, kind of not, but the bottom line is that ball kicks to Robert Covington and hits a tough floater there. So we will take the 2 points. Was not a pretty possession whatsoever, but it all counts the same. Bulls down the other end. Kobe White with a tough pass cross court to Ayo Dosunmu, who puts up the shot, can't hit the three. Good rebound by Kelly Oubre there. Comes in a strong athletic rebound there. Love that. Maxey down the other end. 7:15 left to play at this point. Paul Reed setting the screen for Maxey. Kicks it to Oubre. Oubre back to Maxey. Oubre sets the screen. Maxey with DeRozan on him. Looks like he wants him, and he does. Takes him, gets the rim, takes the contact, and finishes. I think that could have been a foul there as well, but Maxey does hit the bucket. We have a 1-point ball game, 87-86 Bulls there. Caruso taking the ball up the floor. Pat Bev all over him, and we have a timeout by Billy Donovan and the Bulls. Let's get to a couple comments here. LaVine being out has really unlocked White. Absolutely. And frankly, with all the LaVine conversation, I think that is the biggest reason to trade Zach LaVine is you need to give Kobe White a legitimate chance of proving why he deserves to be a potential lead guard in this NBA. That it has not been the smoothest growth and trajectory for Kobe White throughout his career. Definitely some growing pains, but he's showing why he was the highly regarded draft pick coming out of college and playing like a potential building block of this organization moving forward. Sixers fans saying, Sean, what do you think of Bronny James' USC debut? Didn't tune in fully for it. I'll say my 2 cents on Bronny James is I do hate how much is being attached to it. Like literally things like You can log on DraftKings and literally bet what team is going to draft Bronny James, this stuff like that. I think there's a little bit too much pressure. I get it comes with being LeBron James' son. Happy to see him back on the court and that he is cleared healthy and he looks good as a player. I do believe that he is a legitimate NBA player, LeBron James' son or not, and has really grown into that. So cool. And I will be rooting for him. We'll be checking on him a little more. That USC team looks pretty fun as well. Check in on a couple more comments here. I love this from Sixers fan 229. If Maxey's not an all-star game starter, we riot. I will say, like, I firmly believe Maxey will be an all NBA guard this year. That I don't think there are 6 guards across the NBA playing better than him. When you talk about guys like Jalen Brunson, that caliber of player, who I love Jalen Brunson. That's probably a bad example on my part because Brunson is still better than Maxey as much as I love Maxey. But I do think Maxey's going to be in that all NBA conversation when things are said and done this year. Some of the stuff he's doing is truly absurd. Love this from Prince. Tyrese, the Flash, Maxey. I do love that. I think the process is, the franchise is already a solid nickname for him. But yeah, the Flash would be a good one as well. It is crazy that Caruso will get more in a trade than LaVine, but that is kind of the nature of the NBA. Is it's not just these players in a vacuum. Like, obviously, on a pure talent standpoint, Zach LaVine is better than Alex Caruso. But when you talk about Alex Caruso making $30 million less per year and a guy that plays in a way that is more conducive to winning and fits on more teams, that is why he's more attractive. So it is always kind of interesting how the NBA trade market works, but I do think that will ultimately be the case. Got a lot of Ben Simmons chatter in here. I'll pull this up from Sport Clips here. Keyword healthy Ben Simmons. No one is great where they're injured. I wouldn't get rid of Kelly though. Yeah, I'm glad the Ben Simmons experience is over. A lot of talk about that, and ultimately we're seeing how it's played out with the Nets there. Got Dwayne Wade is Flash. Maxey needs his own name. How about the Roadrunner? LOL. He's been called the franchise by Joel for a couple of years now, so I do think that is sticking. But yeah, we will see. I wouldn't mind if there is a change up in that nickname. I do like this one from Speed Demon here. Sonic Maxey is his nickname. I have not heard that before, but I am for that. I do like that as a nickname as well. And game kicking back off here. Embiid's still not on the floor. So 6:45 left to play. Paul Reed's still out there, and Paul Reed, blown coverage there, creates an open 3 for Vucevic, but Vucevic cannot connect on the shot. Pat Bev dribbling up the floor for the Sixers here. Kobe White on him. I would like Embiid to check in this game pretty much immediately. And Maxey shoots the 3 and knocks it down. The Sixers have a lead. That is a big shot by Tyrese Maxey. He has come alive here in that second half. He is up to 19 points on the game now. Kobe White down the other end, smacked away from B-Ball Paul. Wow, they called a foul on the floor, though. I believe that was on Pat Bev. An aggressive shot blocked by Paul Reed. Maxey, a big-time shot there. These are the moments, like, as I talked about, there are the growing pains with him, that we know that there are going to be the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows in his development. But when he hits shots like that, that's a mature, big-time bucket by Tyrese Maxey. Flying off the 3, loses Caruso in coverage, and just straight up knocks it down. Huge shot by Maxey here. 6:19 left remaining. Still no Joel Embiid on the floor. I would like for him to check in as soon as possible. Kobe White with the ball. Pat Bev on him. Switches. Got Paul Reed in coverage now. Kick out to 3 and is knocked down by the Bulls. The Bulls retake the lead. Pat Bev dribbling it back up the floor. Still no signs of Joel Embiid getting up as we get under the 6-minute mark, and here he comes. He is wandering over to the scorer's table at this moment. Maxey with the ball in his hands, dribbling up. He gets a screen from Paul Reed, comes around, tries to turn the corner, attacking the rim. Great pass to Kelly Oubre, who can't finish on the dunk. Beautiful look by Tyrese Maxey on a cutting backdoor play to Kelly Oubre, just as we spoke about with his off-ball movement, his ability to cut. Great shot created, but he just could not quite finish on the dunk there. Great look by Maxey. Great cut by Oubre. Just could not quite complete the play. And a little no-look dime by Maxey there. Boy, I wish Kelly was able to slam that home just for the sake of the highlight. That was a good-looking play all around. Great decisions, great execution. Just could not quite get the finish. And Sixers will have the ball out of bounds on that one. I'll check in on this comment from Brian Killian Weber. Let me wait till Embiid checks into this game. Maxey, 2-man game, shoots the 3, can't quite hit. Vucevic comes up with the rebound. Kobe White dribbling it down the floor. Kicks it to DeMar DeRozan. Embiid finally back in the game. And a foul down the other end. Geez, big-time collision. Looked like that was Paul Reed also on the floor. So we're getting a little Embiid and Paul Reed out the mud. Shout out to RB. Shout out to the podcast. I have been looking forward to the Paul Reed and Joel Embiid on the floor all season. This is the first time we are seeing it. And Paul Reed basically upends DeRozan on that one. The foul happened beforehand. Big time collision there, though. That looked like a play that could be going on in the Eagles game right now, but turns out it was just DeRozan and Paul Reed running into each other. There was the foul, so I'm not sure why DeRozan is so upset, but very clearly arguing about something with the referees. While they get that sorted out, I will check in on this comment. Do you personally want to get rid of Toby or keep him and get that open cap space to the offseason? That is the tough conversation that is to have. Personally, I just feel that there's too much of a loyalty to playing him. He's currently not checked in, so maybe Nick Nurse is hearing what I'm saying and not playing him for this one. I don't have an issue with him being on the team as Patrick Williams knocks down a big-time three to stretch the Bulls' lead to 4. But yeah, I do not have an issue with Tobias Harris being on the team. I do have an issue with his usage and the unwillingness to kind of cut his minutes. But tonight, that looks like they are eating into it. I don't believe he's checked in this fourth quarter at all. That is a fine thing by me. And here comes Tobias Harris off the bench on cue. But Maxey drives to the rim, can't quite finish. Embiid tries to get the rebound, can't get it. And the Bulls leak out for an open dunk. It is, I believe that is DeRozan down the other end, and it is. So the Bulls stretch their lead to 6, 4:57 left the remaining. As Tobias Harris is going to check in this game, I would guess he's probably taking out Paul Reed in this matchup. So that will likely be the end of the Paul Reed and Joel Embiid experience. Not enough to say. I think we only got 2 possessions of it, so I can't say much from a takeaway for how well it worked. But yeah, that was frustrating. And Tiki, great comment here. That was on Embiid, so he's got 5 fouls here. That is a big deal. There is still 4:57 left to play. If Joel Embiid fouls out of this game, don't feel very confident in the Sixers being able to get a win. So we will see. Check in on a couple other comments here. Let's see what we got. Funny comment by Sport Clips here. Yeah, I don't understand the structured mindset of waiting to Embiid to get to the 6-minute mark to get him in. There's very clearly a rotation standpoint from Nick Nurse where Embiid plays the entire first quarter and the entire third quarter and comes into the 6-minute mark on both the second and fourth quarters. I get it from a concept standpoint, and for the most part, I'm cool with whatever Embiid feels comfortable with, that we do what he wants, wherever those moments are. But there should be a little more fluidity in what the game needs, and if you need him for a couple extra minutes, there's 9 games where he's sat out the fourth quarter this year. While generally I am very pro protecting Joel Embiid, making sure he's healthy, there's been enough rest for him this year that I'm not worried about it at this point in time. This is a game where I want them to go out and win. I would have liked him to check in a little bit sooner on this one. But the bottom line is we still have 4:57 left to play. Ball is back in action, and the Sixers still have a chance to win this game. They cannot afford for Joel Embiid to pick up that 6th foul. And Tobias Harris is back in the game, the 5-man unit the Sixers have. I do kind of like this unit. We got Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Robert Covington, and Kelly Oubre. Embiid drives to the basket, gets the ball stripped as he goes to dunk it. Kelly Oubre for 3, can't hit it. Rebound by Patrick Williams. Kobe White dribbles it up the floor now. 4:30 left in this game. Kobe White with Kelly Oubre on him down the other side. Switches with Tobias Harris. Harris on defense on White. They kick it to Patrick Williams. Looking for the entry pass to Vucevic, who has Kelly Oubre on him. Vucevic going to the post, and too easy. He does get the bucket around Kelly Oubre. You can see the difference in size very clear on that one. Vucevic able to spin off him rather easily. So the lead stretches to 8, a 10-0 run in the last 2:05 for the Bulls. Not the way that you want to close this for the Sixers. Embiid battling with Vucevic in the post, and they do call the foul on Vucevic there. We are cooked. We just put in Toby. Yeah. Oubre Jr. has gone cold. Speed Demon saying, I have an issue with Tobias being on the team. He doesn't fit, plain and simple. We tried to make it work many times and fit him in the system plenty of times. It just doesn't work. Yeah, I do agree with all of that there, unfortunately. Embiid being double with Kobe White and Vucevic on him. A cross-court pass to Oubre, who shoots the 3, hits it. The Sixers needed that one, and I think Kelly himself needed that one. So that does cut the lead to 5 points, 97-92 in this matchup. 3:45 remaining on the clock. Kobe White dribbling up, gets the switch, kicks it to Vucevic. Vucevic hands off to DeRozan with Tobias Harris on him. And the Sixers come up with the steal. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be off the Sixers. Both will keep possession. Well done by Maxey to come in and get the steal there. We do have a ball game again. That was a big shot by Oubre. Great cross-court path by Embiid, and Oubre needed that one for both the sake of the Sixers and for Oubre's confidence himself. He has been very cold in this one. The Bulls keep the ball. Caruso for 3. Can't hit. Tobias Harris with the board. We got a 5-point game with 3:30 remaining. Maxey with the ball in his hands, dribbling up the court. Gets the screen from Embiid. Looking for the pass. He does find Embiid at the mid-range. Embiid attacking to the body. flicks it up, can't get the roll. Tough miss by Embiid there. 97-92. Just over 3 minutes. Coby White with the ball in his hands, gets downhill, kicks to Vucevic for 2 open of a 3, and he does hit it. That's a big shot by Vucevic there. That one hurts for the Sixers. 100-92 with the clock under 3 minutes now. Maxey with the ball in his hands once again. Caruso on him. Embiid sets the screen. Ball goes to Embiid. Embiid at the top of the key. Gets the dribble handoff with Maxey, who tries to get downhill. Caruso is all over him. So very impressive defense by Alex Caruso in this one. Yeah, Maxey had a steal and lost the ball. That was unfortunate. That was a big turn there. That turned into a bucket for the Bulls. If Maxey could come up with that clean and go down the other end, big difference. 300 likes. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that subscribe. Don't have the air horn on me. I should have had an RB leave that for me, but appreciate all the love in the comments there. 2:48 remaining left in this game. Maxey is going to the line, so they called a foul on Caruso. That's a good way to manufacture free points without the clock moving. When you can get to the free throw line at this stage in the game, it is a great thing. Maxey connects on the first one and knocks down the second one as well. Caruso takes the ball out of bounds, inbounds to Coby White. Coby White with De'Anthony Melton on him, dribbling up the floor. Sixers showing a little bit of full court press here. Still not full intensity, but Melton giving him a little bit of something to think about. Kicks it to DeRozan. Tobias Harris, terrible angle, and DeRozan gets right to the mid-range. Luckily that he does miss that. Vucevic comes off with the offensive board there. Embiid scared to pick up the 6th foul. Careful. Ball goes out of bounds. I believe it is off Embiid. Looked like he poked it out of Coby White's hand there. Wow, no RB, no song. Yeah, my apologies there. Not a scheduled loss when Embiid is playing. I agree with that. That while he's in the game, the Sixers, this is a team they should beat. They still have a chance in this one, but they got to get some stops, and they do not have a lot of time to do it. Coby White from deep 3, can't hit. Ball bouncing around all over the place. Looks like an over-the-back foul on Patrick Williams there. Embiid goes to the floor. Yeah, Patrick Williams really went up for that one, and looks like he just towered over Embiid. We got a 100-94 with 2:22 remaining in this one. Yeah, I believe that was a foul on. Wow, they both really got up for this. Embiid, he almost just jammed it down on Embiid, Patrick Williams, but he ultimately was called for over the back. Embiid did have position on that one. Embiid can't give up an offensive board there. Yeah, the possession before to Vucevic was worse, but the thing that I will stick up for him for, and I know this is a you can debate this either way, but he does have 5 fouls, and I do think that if he had fought for that, it would have been his 6th foul. Vucevic did have the inside position there. That's on Embiid for not getting it, but he ultimately will head down the free throw line, connect on the first one after that offensive foul to Patrick Williams. Sixers cut the lead to 5. Embiid with one more free throw here. 2:22 remaining. Poor choice of shots from Coby. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That was a little ambitious, that long range 3 there. And Embiid connects on both free throws. We have a 4-point game with 2:22. Sixers do not have a lot of wiggle room to play with, but this is still a winnable game. Coby White dribbling down the floor. De'Anthony Melton on him. Showing a little bit of full court press once again. All over him, kicks DeRozan. Another bad angle by Tobias Harris. He keeps trying to go over on the screens, and he's giving DeRozan a chance to get inside possession, but he does stand him up. DeRozan gets to his mid-range and blocked by Harris. Impressive play by Harris, who dives out of bounds to save a loose ball, but it goes right back to DeRozan. Kicks to Patrick Williams. Coby White with the ball attacking. He loses it, and there is a foul on the play. Lot of craziness going around there. I believe the foul is on Maxey. They show him shaking his head. Well done by Tobias Harris to get the block on that play. Unfortunate that the effort play to dive and save it from going out of bounds ultimately came right back to DeRozan. And there's a replay once again. Harris just meeting DeRozan at that peak. Well done by Tobias on that play. I don't like the angle, the way he's fighting over screens, but in the one-on-one situations, doing a nice job there. And that is the Tobias Harris conundrum once again, is in one-on-one situations, I don't think he's a bad defender, but I do think he gets lost off ball, and a lot of the gets lost in screens. It's disappointing. Love this out of Sixers fan 229. Sean, I'm looking at your top 30 on your channel. Maxey got to be higher than 28, brother. Top 15 next season. Mark my words. Yeah, I mean, he's proven me wrong. I hope he continues to play to that level. I will admit that now that I think about it and settle in, I should have probably bumped him up a little more. I'll take the L on that one for sure. And absolutely hit the like on this one. Let's keep it coming as we come into the home stretch here. 1:45 on the clock. Maxey with the ball, trying to get downhill. Caruso all over him, and he does draw the foul. Well done by Maxey to get to the line once again. And we talked about this. This is ways to get free offense, to get free shots. And Maxey already with, Let's look at these free throw attempts on the game. Feels like he has been there a lot now. This will be his 5th and 6th free throws, not as many as it feels like. Embiid only 8 for 9 on the game, so a little below his average as well. Tobias, jack of all trades, master of none. Yep, absolutely right there as well. But Maxey nets home the first free throw. We have 102-97. Maxey at the line once again, connects on the second one. Embiid comes flying in from the top of the arc trying to get that offensive board. Not sure why it just wasn't under the basket to start that one, but who knows. Coby White dribbling the ball up the floor, Melton on him once again. Patrick Williams coming to set the screen. Oubre switches a Vucevic 3, and he knocks it down. That one hurts. That's a big shot by Vucevic. He has been red hot in the second half, 105-98. The Bulls have a lead, minute and a half left to play. Maxey with the ball. Kicks it to Embiid. Embiid at the mid-range, looking, analyzing, attacking, going to the rim, and finishes. Vucevic falls to the floor, but no foul called. Embiid ultimately did finish. We have a 5-point game, minute 20 left to play, 105-100. The Bulls with the lead. Ball goes to Caruso, back to Coby White. Coby White once again with Melton on him. Melton doing an okay job on Coby White, but trying to be disruptive and really not having much luck. They get a switch, and Kelly Oubre gets the steal. Maxey with it. Oubre down the other end and one. No, he cannot finish, but he is fouled by Caruso down the other end. Smart foul by Caruso. Oubre will head to the line with 2 with 105 left to play. Bad turnover by the Bulls there. Excellent hands by Oubre to get in the passing lanes, disrupting and get able to poke it away there. But ultimately, we'll head to the line for 2 more. He can cut the lead to 3 points in this matchup. Chicago Bulls are winning streak killers. We will see. We will see. There's a plenty of game left to play. Still 105-101 as Kelly hits the first free throw here. Here we go. Clutch steal, absolutely. That was a big steal by Kelly Oubre here. So he shoots the second free throw and cannot hit. That is a big miss by Kelly Oubre. Hate to see that there. So Bulls now dribbling DeMar DeRozan with the ball. Tobias Harris on him once again, standing him up at the top of the three-point arc. Gets the screen from Caruso, gets the switch. Maxey on DeRozan now. DeRozan looking for the mid-range. He's posting up, backing in when Maxey goes to the spin. Good defense by Maxey. Forces the miss. Embiid with the rebound. Taking it up himself. Hands off to Maxey. Dribbling down the floor. We have 40 seconds left to play. Another screen by Joel. Kicks it. Joel at the top of the 3. Hand off to Maxey. They have to go quick. Do not have a lot of time to play with. Maxey shoots the 3 and connects. Big shot by Tyrese Maxey. Big shot by Tyrese Maxey. That is a grown man shot. That is a shot why you're better than the 28th best player in the NBA right there. Hell of a shot by Maxey. The Stones. Bulls wasting no time, no timeout. 105-104, 25 seconds left to play. Tobias Harris D'ing up DeRozan once again. He looks like he wants him. Calling the isolation. Pulls up for the mid-range. Gets Harris in the air. I don't think he fouled. They called it on Harris. I think you have to challenge that if you're Nick Nurse. He did jump, but I think he got back in possession. It looked to me like DeRozan jumped towards Tobias Harris, not the other way around. I think you have to challenge that if you're Nick Nurse. But DeRozan heads to the line. Looks like they're looking at the replay. I will as well. DeRozan does pump fake. Tobias Harris does jump in the air. But I think DeRozan jumps toward him. I don't think you can give Tobias Harris the foul there. We will see. I think you have to challenge that if you are Nick Nurse. Tobias looks frustrated as well. He did get up in the air. He did leave his feet, which is a big deal. Oh, gosh. And it looks like they're heading to the bench for the challenge. You absolutely have to challenge that if you are Nick Nurse there. We're getting another angle here. I don't know. That one, that angle looked worse. That one looked like it might have been on Toby. Toby, very animated that he did not foul. You absolutely did jump. You can't get off your feet there. Oh, that's close. DeRozan absolutely, he knew what he was doing. He was trying to draw the contact, and it ultimately did work. But I do think that there is a legitimate chance that they can win this challenge here. This challenge may more or less decide the game. Not fully, because even if it is an unsuccessful challenge, this turns into a 3-point game. The Sixers will have a chance with the ball here, but 16.2 left to play. Let's see what the announcement is on the coach's challenge. Unsuccessful, and that is disappointing. So DeRozan will head to the line for 2 free throws. 2 big free throws for DeMar DeRozan here. Whew, this is a crazy game coming down to the wire here. Yeah, they're going to give that call to DeRozan over Toby. If you leave your feet, you're not going to get that call. Prince, he did challenge it. Unfortunately, did not get the overturn there. That is a tough one. I do feel bad for Tobias. He did try his best to D him up there and really tried not to foul, but you cannot leave your feet there. Oh, gosh, here we go. All right, DeRozan heading to the line. There's 16.2 on the clock. Bulls lead 105-104. DeRozan on the game with 12 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He's hit some big-time buckets, though. And here we go. Ball pass to DeRozan. Takes a couple dribbles for the first free throw. And he misses the first one. A miss by DeRozan. That is a big miss right there. And the Sixers have a chance at this game. And I know there are bigger matters at hand, but some chicken nuggets on the line with the second free throw, and the crowd looks well aware of it. They are rowdy behind the basket. DeRozan lining up the second free throw, and he does hit the second one. So we have a 2-point game, 106-104 with 16.2 left to play. Sixers do have a timeout. Does not look like they're going to use it. Maxey picks it up out of the backcourt. Let's see. Embiid calling for the screen. He sets a screen on Caruso. Maxey passes it back to him. Embiid misses. He can't hit the 2, and that hurts. That hurts. That was a good read by Maxey to get Embiid the ball. I do think Embiid forced it a little bit. That was a tough shot that he went for, and ultimately not enough control, not enough touch, and it blasts off the backboard and misses. Great pass, little pocket pass by Maxey. Not a good shot by Joel Embiid whatsoever. That good defense by Coby White. Look, Embiid lost it going up, so he lost it on the handle, kind of volleyball tapped it, and DeRozan head back to the line. That might be the game right there. If DeRozan hits 2 right here, the game is over. He does knock down the first free throw, and that might just about do it. 5.9 on the clock, 107-104. The Bulls take the lead. We will see what happens here. Sixers need a miss for them to have a chance in this one, and DeRozan does not give it to him. DeRozan connects on the second free throw as well. It's going to be 108-104 with 5.9 to play. That likely will do it for the Bulls on that one. I don't think that was a foul on Coby White. I think that was terrific defense. He was straight up on the Embiid. It looked like Embiid just straight up lost it going up with that one. He kind of volleyball spiked it, trying to get it into the basket. That's just not good enough on a game-deciding call. Frustrating that he lost the ball. An overall great game by Embiid, but that likely will do it in this one. We'll see what Nick Nurse goes to out of the timeout with 5.9. Not much that you can do. I think basically you have to call a quick catch and shoot 3, hope that you hit it and hope that you can foul quick enough, but basically zero room for error. And frankly, I think this one might be one you can start penciling into the loss column. I do respect that the Sixers are going to it to the final whistle. We got a couple comments I want to check in here. Said this one's going to hurt. Stay off social media because everyone, including fake overreacting Sixers fan, will act like it's the end of the season, so just got to bounce back on Wednesday. I mean, in reality, this is a game that is a tough loss, but one that I think the Sixers just straight up have not played well in. Look at the imbalance in scoring here. We talk about Joel Embiid with 40 points, Tyrese Maxey with 29, and then nothing from anybody else. That the next highest scorer, 8 points from Paul Reed, 6 points from Kelly Oubre, 6 points from DeAnthony Melton, and yeah, not a lot else going on. Tobias Harris, man, 3 points in 31 minutes, just does not cut it. Just not good enough. A brutal Tobias Harris game. I think I would argue that this might be the low point of the Tobias Harris experience this season. Very frustrating to see. I think 5.9. Let's see. Tobias inbounding the ball. You got to give Maxey a chance in this. There's got to be a quick 3. Not time to play with. Embiid dribbles, shoots the 3 and misses, and that will do it. The clock will expire. Final score 108-104. The Bulls pull out the victory in this one. Frustrating loss for the Sixers. Damn, that one hurts. That was one that they had a chance at, were unable to pull it out as the players dap up and fall out. I am frustrating from the standpoint, and let's go back to the team stats here. So we'll look at this from both sides. So as we can see, the Bulls shooting 47.2% from the field on the game, 41.4% from 3. Sixers 43.2% from the field, 34.4% from 3, 44 rebounds to 45 rebounds. That's a tough loss, man. And Coby White getting the player of the game action. He finished with 24 points. Very impressive game from Coby White. Very mature game. Appreciate the love by Sixers fan 229 there. That means a lot, my guy. Very much so. But yeah, that is a tough one there. Why take no timeout? I do think that's a great question. That this is a struggle because I think Nick Nurse took the mindset of this was not obviously a big game moment where you're coaching to win like it is a playoff game. That I do think that there is some weight in allowing these guys to try and figure it out on their own. That the 2-man game, and if we're being honest, they did get a shot that they wanted. That 9 times out of 10, you live with Joel Embiid having that chance. He ultimately lost it going up with the shot attempt, and that's what cost him. Like, it looked weird coming off his hands, and that's because he didn't even fully shoot it. He kind of volleyball swatted it as he lost it going up, but that's not good enough based on the situation. So very frustrating there all around. This is rough. The Bulls are built different. I don't know if I would go that far, but I do appreciate it. Much love to my guy, Secret Underdog the Gamer. I appreciate that, my man. I appreciate that. I think this is RB in the chat there. So if you're listening in or if you're not watching the Eagles, I do appreciate that. Needed you on the second half of this one for sure. Appreciate that, my guy. And yeah, as a RB, appreciating him for giving me the platform here. You guys can also make sure to check me out on PickSwap Media, Sixers Digest, and Fox 1025 The Gambler. Sixers Digest and PickSwap Media are the two that are kind of my own platforms that I drop my Sixers stuff on. But we'll be doing a ton with the radio on Fox Sports, where I talk a little bit of all sports as well. Well, at least the Birds are winning. We will be getting over to that next. RB already taking care of that, so you guys can make sure that you check in on him as well on A to Z Sports over there. But I do want to wrap up with just a couple thoughts on this game overall. Pretty much love Glitch Zero, appreciate all that. And yeah, RB is over on A to Z Philly, checking out the Eagles game there, so you guys can make sure to tap in with him and talk about him, or check out the game with him there. Great job by Sean on this. Appreciate all the love, guys. And yeah, once again, make sure to check in at A to Z Sports to check out the Eagles game with that one. But I do want to wrap things up with a couple final thoughts on that game here. We knew that this hot streak was not going to continue forever for the Sixers, that them full out demolishing the teams in the way that it was a blast to watch, but not something that is going to happen every game over the course of an 82-game season. And shout out to Secret Underdog, the gamer, checking out the link here. That is where you can find RB watching the live stream of the Sixers game or the Eagles game there. And right here, appreciate this as well. Here's PickSwap Media, the company that I'm running over there. So check out a ton of good stuff on there. Love this from Prince, a little RB scream. I appreciate this, Tommy. For real, that does mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for the love. And yeah, Sixers are not going to win every single one in blowout fashion in the way that is the case that we hope for it to be on an every game basis. But I am happy in the way that, they competed. It had to come to an end. Ultimately, it was cool to see Joel Embiid keep the streak alive. But this is, what you say. You're not going to win every 81. You got to put one in the loss column once in a while. I will be looking deeper into this Timberwolves matchup. This is a game that was an audition game for a lot of the Bulls. And while as a team, they have a ton of dysfunction and a ton of things going on, each one of these individual players have plenty to prove, whether it is Kobe White proving that he can be a legitimate building block and long-term guard of the future, whether it is Alex Caruso proving that he's worthy of joining a contender, potentially even the Sixers being a team that could be interested in him. So a lot to play for each of these Bulls players. So it was good to see a little bit of that. And I will say, I did leave this game pretty impressed with Alex Caruso, and that did move him up a little bit on my trade targets list. And a couple other great comments. Kelly was inefficient. That was true. I will give him credit. The dunk and the made three-pointer were both big moments in that game, and the Sixers needed that one. They frankly would not have had a chance, especially that three-pointer. But yeah, overall was not his night whatsoever. Good night, Robin. Appreciate that. If the Sixers come back and beat the Wolves, this loss won't matter. Yeah, I agree. Ultimately, over the course of a long season, there are going to be games that they lose, which they shouldn't. I think tonight falls under this category. Snap the 6-game winning streak. A little step up in competition from what the Sixers team have been used to over the past couple games. But yeah, very frustrating there. And Sean, don't want to see Maxey last shot. That three-pointer specifically at the end with the down 4, absolutely. I think that should have been Maxey's shot, but I do think that's just one where you kind of chalk up and the game was over at that point whatsoever. So disappointing, absolutely. But yeah, and appreciate this. Got to get going, but great stream. Tough loss, man. Got to collect ourselves and get it together for next game. Have a good one. As always, let's go Sixers Nation. Love that energy from Secret Underdog, the gamer. Last basket should have been Maxey to win it. So I guess the conversation there, and this is where I think we get a little bit into the Tyrese Maxey growing up conversation, is he did defer to Joel Embiid. He did execute on the pocket pass. I do think that's probably the proper basketball decision, that when you have that pass, you do take it. But there's also an aspect of Maxey was feeling it a little bit in that second half too. I believe he had 20 points in that second half alone. He is able to take it over and attack himself. I would have had zero issue if he decided to go up with that and try and finish that one. So that would have been nice if we saw that moment from Maxey. Those are going to come with time. That there's still the growing pains. The Tyrese Maxey figuring himself out, and I'm watching it again. I do love that three-pointer he hit to pull them within one, that 105 to 104, taking that sidestep three. That was probably the grown-up mature shot that I'm most excited about. But I just want to see Maxey one-on-one with those screens. Nice comment from Phil W here. I will say that I agree with that as well. Sometimes they get a little too caught up in overcomplicating things, giving all these options. Sometimes you just got to let a guy go ball. So Tyrese Maxey, I would like to give him that freedom at times. Would love to see that. A little Doc Rivers slander. Can't get away from a night without tossing that in there. So if Doc was still here, this would have been a double-digit loss. And I'll go a little step further that they don't rip off this 6-game winning streak if Doc Rivers is their head coach. I'm curious to tune into the post game and hear Nick Nurse's answers about why he didn't call the timeout there. But I do think that is partially him allowing this team to play through it, figure themselves out, do it on their own, make their own play calls. And ultimately, it was not the decision-making that lost in that game. It was the execution, that you live with that look from Joel Embiid. You live with the chance for Tyrese Maxey to use that two-man game. We still saw a progression in that area. I was happy to see Tyrese Maxey grow up and wake up in that second half. But yeah, very frustrating. And I'm getting another replay of that final miss. Not a bad look whatsoever, but Embiid just lost it on the handle up. And yeah, you just can't be doing that. That is a good pass by Maxey. Excellent defense by Kobe White, by the way. And Embiid just can't be losing it like that. So need a little more. It looked like Embiid and Maxey versus the Bulls team. Yeah, and I guess that is the kind of the question that once again, as we continue to have this conversation for what is the Sixers' needs at the deadline, tonight was a night where you saw that they are lacking firepower beyond just Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. So we need to figure that out. Who the answer to that is to be determined. I saw some love for Jordan Clarkson earlier. Not necessarily a guy that's high on my list. I think RB is way higher on him than I am. But when you think about a guy like a potential Pascal Siakam or Lauri Markkanen or OG Anunoby, Donovan Mitchell, even the names are starting to get crazier. DeJounte Murray. So there are some names more and more leaking out. And honestly, the biggest blessing of this James Harden trade, of getting this done early in the season, is it allowed the Sixers team to have a true evaluation period where they can take a look, figure out what this team needs, and also allow other teams to make more players available, where you start to see the Donovan Mitchells appear, the Lauri Markkanens become available for trade, Alex Caruso very clearly on the trade market. So I do think it was the best case scenario for the Sixers to both allow them to evaluate things and allow more players to become available. And I do think tonight is a night that will go very much in the evaluation category of tonight they did not have enough offensive firepower. That Kelly Oubre was unable to be that third-tier scorer. Tobias Harris was unable to be that third-tier scorer. So if they don't have guys that are able to be a third-tier scorer beyond Maxey and Embiid on this roster, you got to go get one. And Prince Modito chiming in here saying, cough, cough, Caruso and Siakam. It's a great thought there. And frankly, I would be very happy if that is the result of this deadline. You're not winning with only two guys in double figures. You're absolutely right about that. It either has to just straight up be better from the Sixers side of things, or they need to go out and get somebody that can improve this team. So will be interesting to see how much they take into this. Imagine Tobias' evaluation sheet after tonight. Yeah, I've heard some funny things from these Sixers about the way they are evaluating things, that they do grade some stuff like missed screens. I saw a ton of that from Tobias. Specifically, the thing that bothered me the most about Tobias' Harris game tonight, and believe me, there was plenty to read off his full box score. In 31 minutes, he finished with 3 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists, shot 1 of 3 from the field. For starters, 3 shot attempts in over 30 minutes of play is just straight up unacceptable for a guy who is being paid like he is the third star on this team. So need to see that. And yeah, Brian hitting the nail on the head with Tobias. Toby is one of the all-time worst contracts in the NBA. That is the unfortunate reality of them. Totally agree with Glitch Zero here that Markkanen, Anunoby, Caruso, and Isaac, my top 4 targets. Love you throwing Jonathan Isaac in there too, because I've been pounding that table as well. I think he goes underrated and is very much under the radar down in Orlando because of all the talent down there. Isaac's a real deal legit defender. Would love to add him to this team. A couple other things. Sixers missed Morris offensively. Surprisingly, I think there is some weight to that he is a guy that is a bucket getter that has helped this team, been far better than I expected to be the case. But yeah, 3 points for Tobias cannot happen. And the thing that bothered me the most was his unwillingness to chase around screens and his angles on screens, that it was super frustrating the way he was getting like totally lost around his screen, and that was creating open looks for DeRozan specifically. I thought that happened a ton down the stretch, and then that foul at the end, that totally hurts. That more or less burned the game as well. LO, Nurse gonna lock in a room and rip him apart like he did the Raptors players. Very well could happen. So I saw another comment I want to get to too. Where was this? No need for Batum, Rocco, House, Harris on this roster. I'll push back on the Batum comment, that I do think Batum is an important piece of this team, mostly from the connective passing standpoint, that when you watch their half-court offense, they run a lot of the decision-making through Batum. Specifically, I guarantee you watch the first possession of Wednesday's game, but what they're going to run, because they've done this every single game, is Batum comes to the top of the 3, Embiid runs a duck in, gets deep post position, and then Batum makes the pass to Embiid. That he is capable of making those entry passes in a way that really no one else on the Sixers roster can. Even Maxi's kind of spotty with it. So I like that characteristic of Batum, but I do hear you that a lot of these skill sets can be repetitive. And once again, that's why we're attacking the trade market and beginning to have these conversations here. Tobias moves like he's 40 years old. Yeah, there's some weight to that as well. So I keep Toby just to clear the cap space. That's the pushback to trading him, because there's so much of a financial component to the NBA, obviously with the salary cap, that you can really make the argument that there's more value in just waiting out the season with Tobias Harris and then allowing all that money to come off that books. That Daryl Morey's been very clear about having this cap space plan, this desire to attack in free agency and put the Sixers in a unique position where they're the only championship contending team with an MVP caliber player, with a blossoming star in Tyrese Maxey, and more or less unlimited cap space. That as things are currently constructed, it is only Joel Embiid and then Tyrese Maxey with a little bit of a blank check attached to his name. Paul Reed, there's a couple stipulations on his contract. It was a non-guaranteed deal, so it depends on, I believe they make it past the first round. It becomes guaranteed when the Jazz try to stay on with that restricted free agent move. But the bottom line is those are the three guys that are under contract. And it's a blank slate beyond that, that Daryl Morey is truly going to have a chance to put his fingerprints on this roster and build a championship contender in the way that he sees fit. We will see what he means by that and how much he prioritizes doing this at the deadline, how much waiting till the offseason. So it will be interesting to see what he ultimately decides from that one. But overall, I do think tonight is a night where you kind of got to wash this one away and get ready to get up for the Timberwolves game on Wednesday. Some positives to take away, but overall, just not enough productivity outside of Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey tonight. Felt like one of those games where it was during the Ben Simmons holdout period, where it was Joel Embiid just elevating this team and dragging them along with him and not having enough help. It feels like this roster should not be like that at this point in time. So very frustrating for that to be the case. Now, before I wrap up here, I would like to say just one more time, appreciate all you guys for listening tonight. It was a blast hanging out with each and every one of you. Make sure to check out all my content on PickSwap Media, Sixers Digest, and Fox Sports The Gambler. I'll be on the Fox 1025 airways once again tomorrow, talking Sixers and all other things NBA, talking a little bit about this one. And make sure to hop over to A to Z Sports to watch the Eagles game with RB there and get his content. He'll be on for halftime and post game, I know. So make sure to check that out. And I'll get to a couple final comments here. Appreciate you once again, Glitch Zero. Would you like to see more Springer in the rotation? I mean, why not? Like, I think he's got a skill set that is worth a shot. I've been surprised that Nick Nurse hasn't thrown to the Wolves a little bit more. I do think you can really argue that he's the best perimeter defender on the Sixers team straight up right now, and that alone should earn him a little bit of opportunity. But I'll also say that he hasn't stood out to me in the way that I hoped when it was the case while he was on the floor so far this season. So, and do more live, Sean. I appreciate that, Phil. Yeah, I need to figure that out and get on it. So stay tuned. We'll have some moves in the works for sure. Figuring something out with RB, because I know he's getting stretched a little thin with everything, but definitely need to figure something out. And if not, maybe just straight up on my own channel. So on Sixers Digest, start mixing in some stuff there. So stay posted for that. But I will be back with RB. As I mentioned, check me out on Sixers Digest, PickSwap Media, and Fox Sports The Gambler. Make sure to hop over to A to Z Sports to watch the Eagles game and check in with RB for the post game and halftime show with him there. Thank you guys for tuning in to this video. The Sixers will be back in action on Wednesday against the Timberwolves. You will see me once again on this channel, no doubt, with RB. Got some big plans in the work for both of us. Appreciate all you guys once again. Go Sixers, and we'll talk next time. Peace out, guys.